it's like dancehall, bashment, soca, whatever. It's proper big in so many places, like back home, even in Congo as well. So like, there's those connections there. I think we need to be aware of that.
Yeah, I think
there's an election going on in Congo at the moment, isn't it?
Whew. Yeah, it's supposed to be hunting today, boy.
Ooh, ciao.
Isn't it? Was it? No, it's the 30th, isn't it?
Well, it got moved. It was supposed to be the 23rd. Got moved to the 30th. I don't know why people are expecting it firstly, but
Okay. I was about to ask, does it even matter?
I mean, personally, it doesn't.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong. From my understanding of what's going on in the DRC, there is somebody that's in power 2 years over the allotted time.
Yeah.
So he's been promising that they'll do an election, and they've just now recently moved over to digital. What do we call it? The machine.
Yeah.
Voting.
Yeah.
But the place where all those machines were and whatnot, and the voting tabs was burnt down,
Yeah.
or
Accidentally caught
there was some
fire.
sort of thingy.
Yeah.
So they said they have to postpone it for a week. So what's happened is that I think there's two people that are going for this new thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them has said, you know what, fine, it's only a week. We'll wait for the week. We understand that this thing has been burnt down. Fine, we will allow the extra week. We waited 2 years. And then the other one said basically the same thing, but this, I think his people is a bit like roll deep, and they were ready to fight. And he said, no, you know what, don't fight. We'll wait until the 30th. And if the 30th comes and we can't do our vote, I don't need to say anything.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said. I don't need to say anything. That's what he said.
My name is my name.
That's what he said.
Still behavior,
he
boy.
said, boy, roll deep. Because
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
When it comes, I don't need to say nothing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode 104 of season 2. Thank you for joining us. We've got a fire episode. Use the hashtag ESN pod to join in the conversation for this fire episode, which is about to proceed.
Intro take 5.
Yeah, so yeah, 4.
4, go.
At ESN podcast on all your social medias, that's Instagram and Twitter. Find us on Facebook, on ESN Podcasts with an S.
Yeah.
And use the email esnpodcast@gmail.com and send us your questions, your queries, and your voice notes there. Please, thank you very much. Mm-hmm. I am Stavros Boss, and in the room with me tonight, we have the actor.
DATACTOR on Instagram and Twitter. You heard?
I thought you were going to get into one of them Biggie verses there.
No.
For real? All right, cool.
We also have... headbanging. We have, what's his name? Mr. Wolf.
Upon falling, a youngster looks ahead for help. An elder looks back for cause. That is this week's Yoruba proverb, which means prevention is better than cure. Good to look for help after fall, but better to prevent recurrence. Boom.
So before falling.
Yes.
Look before you fall.
How do you know you're the
Prevention is better than cure. Good to look for help after a fall, but better to prevent reoccurrence.
No, yeah, that makes sense. It's the actual
proverb. Upon
reoccurrence
falling,
or occurrence?
No, recurrence, bruv.
But that doesn't mean that it's happened again.
No, don't fall
my
again.
God.
So look for help before you fall again.
Yes. Let me read it again. Upon falling, a youngster looks ahead for help. Yeah? An elder looks back for cause.
So the old person is looking back to say, "Don't fall again."
No, they're looking back as to why they fell.
Somebody's fallen, and the youngster is now looking forward. The older person is looking what happened, and then the proverb actually starts from, "This is what happens for the next time. If you're continuing down this road, now the old person knows I need to zigzag around here, and the young person is still just looking at Nash."
I could have segued that into one topic already, but still going.
Anyway, what's your socials?
Yeah, you can catch me on Instagram, aka Mr. Wolf, on Twitter, aka _Mr. Wolf.
All right, and we also have Big Wahala.
At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Merry Christmas, isn't it?
Bitches.
Because it is Christmas Day release.
We are releasing on Christmas. This is the Christmas episode, for damn sure. And because of that, we have 2 presents for you. And one of those presents in our presents is Senior JJ Bola.
Yes, I like the senior.
Yeah,
I might adopt that.
Why not?
Appreciate it.
Go on, bro. Say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Are you one of them
I
blacks
don't
that don't...
Hey, the Kwanzaa man there, yeah.
I knew it.
You say Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa life still, but yeah, I don't really celebrate Christmas, but it's all good. Merry Christmas, innit?
All right. Okay. And beside Senor, we have Madame.
I don't see Anita.
Senorita. Senora.
I don't know.
Would you prefer senorita or senora?
Mademoiselle.
Senorita is young, innit? Senora is...
What about Sisi?
Is a mature.
What about Sisi?
We have CynTea.
That's it.
Senor CynTea. Senora CynTea.
It's Antifunke, CynTea.
Yeah, they'll put it Auntie.
Some people do call me Signorita though.
Oh, okay.
As in CYN Yorita. So
You see it there?
yeah, but it's actually CynTea. Just leave it like that.
All right. Hello. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you for joining us, both of you.
Thank you. Merry
Thank you for
Christmas,
having us.
everybody.
Yeah, we can do your socials at the end, innit? Or do you want to do them now?
Do it now, man.
All right, do them now.
At JJ_Bola and everything.
All right.
So.
And Sim?
At a cup of CynTea everywhere.
Okay. All right. So, in fact, should we let's get into our weeks, because apparently somebody has a story. So, JJ, how have you been? Tell us about yourself for anybody that doesn't know who you are and whatnot.
I've been good. I'm JJ Bola. I'm a writer and poet. I've recently published a novel called No Place to Call Home, which is my debut novel. With who shout out.
That's right.
Yeah, woo! I'll put in applause at the end. Yeah,
It's a good book.
It's a good book. Thank you.
Yes. I've already got my my character that I'm going to be in the film. He knows this already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to discuss that.
I want to be the pastor.
You want to be?
Did you bring
be
your
the
book to
pastor?
get it signed?
I've got it signed already.
Oh, you got it signed already?
Yeah.
You want to be the pastor?
I want to be the pastor. Yes.
I can see you being a pastor. You know.
Exactly.
You can't see him being a pastor.
can.
Unless he's.
I'm a man. I walk with God. What do you mean?
He's a man of God.
Is
You're going to be like Pastor
But the
Greenleaf.
pastor's not all godly always.
That's
like,
why I
you know
said
what
I want to be the pastor.
So you have to read the book and find out.
Yes. He's a very
But yeah,
interesting
that's
character.
me.
Okay. Sin.
I'm good. It was my birthday on Wednesday.
Yes, congratulations.
for
Happy
real?
birthday.
Really happy
Thank
returns.
you guys.
Wow.
I had the best birthday since 5 years ago. I haven't really had a great birthday the past couple of years, but this one was the best one I've had in a long time.
Okay, what did you do?
Thank
What did I do?
Yeah.
On the actual day, I just pampered up, got my nails done and stuff. Went out at night time to Box Park in Wembley. Just
okay.
opened not too long ago.
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
had
yeah.
like a launch party. Then on Saturday, I went out for my birthday, and that's where the story comes in.
Oh.
So yeah,
Go on, tell us
we're
the story.
partying, we're shakuing, we're having fun on the dance floor. I was waved, people were buying me drink. I was really enjoying my life.
That's what we like to see.
And then all of a sudden, I see people running. I think there's a gun in the building. So I look behind, it's like, what's going on? Why's everybody running?
South London now, but immediately it's gone.
No, it's East
Wembley,
London.
bruv.
It was in East London.
But,
East London.
but the South London inside you has said this must be a gun. There's no other valid reason for people to be running.
No, because it didn't make sense because everybody was running from where all my friends were. So I was thinking, who in my batch is causing trouble? It didn't make any sense.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I look on the floor, there's a rat just
Hey!
in the rave.
Anyhow, thank you. In East London, yeah?
In the rave.
Right, say no
The
more.
rat was just chilling.
Shakuing.
It's like he came to shaku with
You
us.
get me?
He was not ready to go.
One Roger.
And then
Nah, we got to take that L,
and then the DJ was on the mic must have been like, can we have some help, please? Like there was a casualty or something. Then one Nigerian security man came down and said, them white wine coolers, yeah? He used it to now grab the rat.
Big up Uncle, yeah? Big up Uncle. Uncle security's in the building.
Then everybody started cheering for him, yeah? And then, I don't know what...
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know who asked him, but he accidentally kicked his on the rat star.
Oh, no. Man.
And
He
then-
got too gassed.
And then, I don't think someone stamped on the rat because I saw it near the toilet and, it was finished.
Well, the rave done?
No, the rat was finished.
Oh, about to say.
The rat was done.
But yeah,
The rat in my kitchen, what am I gonna do?
the rat was in the rave.
They paid £20 to
Yeah,
get in.
he paid the entrance fee.
That's deep.
Which part of East was this?
Shoreditch.
It has to be Shoreditch. They don't buff there, you know that already.
Pond the river, pond the rat.
That's central, isn't it? Really? Come on,
Nah,
EC,
bruv.
It's
EC.
EC.
Them like don't buff the rave to go
Safe,
Shoreditch, man. You can see that rat is
it
there.
was disgusting. I couldn't believe it. The rat was just chilling on the dance floor, not ready to go.
It gives you stories, man.
Gentrification, innit?
That's a birthday I'm never gonna forget.
Well, but
You
at least
enjoyed it?
you got a story to tell on your birthday. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, but yeah,
And you
that was-
share a birthday, well, a day in between with my kids.
Yeah, you should.
dear.
Yeah, your birthday's the
Okay.
same day as my nephew's. Actually.
My son's birthday's on the 13th. My daughter's on the 11th.
Oh, lovely! Happy
So,
birthday
word.
to them.
That's it. Very busy week. Well,
That's
yeah,
good.
man.
It's a
Fantastic.
celebration. That's it.
All right, so everyone's good. I don't even know the topics. Hold on, let me get to them. So yeah, everyone's good. This is Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you're listening at some point. I'll be very surprised if people are actually listening on Christmas Day.
If they are, send in a tweet, man. You know what I mean, and let us know.
Yeah, man.
You might get a little
Yeah,
prize.
Well, listen to it with your family, man. Let them cuss us
Better than
together.
listening to the Queen's speech, of course.
Yeah,
I'll buy some
for
popcorn
damn sure.
or some.
Hold on,
M&Ms.
does she do that on Christmas Day?
yeah. Every Christmas day, innit?
Oh, okay.
That and EastEnders. That's what pops off.
And you know what? Because
All I know is
EastEnders still bangs, you know.
The episode-
I've watched
Does
EastEnders for years.
someone die every year? Still?
I think
Do you
so.
remember the one when they went to
Does
Karachi
someone
or something?
die
Do you remember
every
that one?
year?
Karachi.
Yeah, so that was like 3 years ago with Zainab, and she was
Oh, no,
cheating
I
on
watched it for
one
a
man, and she was like, "We're going to Karachi."
Zainab was always moving mad.
I remember when Phil and Grant had that big fight on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Nah, do you remember the one where Grant beat up all the police?
Nah.
There was a time that the police all came for Grant.
Oh yeah, and he went on a run, didn't it?
Yeah, and he just bust up all the police.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
this is what I'm saying. This is why I know that black people can't do this. And then be there in the
Well,
square
we're
again
gonna-
looking
we're
at
gonna
Sharon.
run to it.
Yeah, but man beat up the police and was there with Sharon the next day, like nothing had happened. You're like, Sharon.
A black man would never get away with that.
I don't know what them lot was moving mad anyway, because both of them were sleeping with each other's wives. Remember?
Yeah, it was a bit mad.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Phil slept with Sharon and then
Yeah.
Grant slept with Kathy.
Yeah.
And then one of their youths is one of their youth. I don't even know whose
Yeah,
youth it is
it's
again.
mad.
watch your back, Wahala. Watch your back.
What?
You need to refresh your mind.
Okay, you have said it. You have said
Oh,
it.
you're mad.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, speaking of the Queen's speech, I think it's got that I'm splitting my Christmas between my missus' family and my family. So I think maybe the first half with them, and then the latter half with my people. And when did they do the Queen's speech? Around 3 o'clock ish, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, around that time.
If I'm around my missus' family around them times, they're gonna be watching that because they are the type of AFs that actually have busts of the Queen. I hope she don't listen to this anyways. They got a calendar in the kitchen. Both my missus' dad, her aunt. I don't know what it is about that side of the family. Anyways, it's like they grew up on the royalty. And they love it. And I can't stand you know. I can't stand an auntie all the time.
Oh, okay.
They're royalites.
Oh yeah, I'm saying it now on the podcast, but I say it to their face. I'm like, auntie, come on now, come on. Why would I come here? I have this picture of these people in my. It's like,
Are they on
like
cushions?
them.
Are they on cushions as well?
Let's segue this.
Why not, man?
Let's segue this then, yeah. Let's segue this thing because we might as well. So, did you see the thing about Miss Dynamite?
No.
Oh, she got an OBE. didn't
Actually,
she?
I
So
did.
Miss
Yeah.
Dynamite
Okay.
got OBE, yeah, and
Did she accept it?
yeah, she did. So, but basically, she put out some big statement as to why she's gonna accept it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Oh, I
obviously
didn't
she's
see that. What did she
yeah,
say?
she was like, she must have put out something like, I think I now I can accept this after all of these
Mad.
years. What's the matter? You shaking your head? The sound?
No, keep talking.
No, something about
I'm shaking my head at Miss Dynamite.
yeah,
man.
she was like, you know what, I can accept it, and
I'm sure your brother would have said no.
That's what I'm
you know
saying,
what?
'cause her
This,
brother-
this is the thing, because obviously our colours.
It's true. I
that's a
forgot.
colours-
Colours is
Colours the brother, and he's very
I forgot.
anti-establishment, and even she used to be quite anti-establishment, which is why she's released this statement. So I can't remember the exact words she put, but she was just basically saying, after all these years and after all of the grafting that our families have done and all this type of stuff, I think I should accept it, kind of for them. One thing that people was just like, nah, fam, this don't sound like it's for them. This sound like you just want to accept it. So it was like a big hoopla about her getting it. Obviously, Akala's her brother, innit? So everybody's like, Akala can't be your brother, and you're going to go and get the stuff from Maggie. You can't be happy then.
She's the elder, so she can do what she wants.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
but it just
lie.
didn't make any sense. So, but she went to go and get it. It was interesting.
Has a colour spoke on it?
I don't know.
I don't think I
don't
haven't
think it
heard
has.
anything. Yeah, the Shade Borough would have said something by now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you people then, because we have discussed this before in the past, but let me ask our two guests, Sin, JJ.
Yes.
If you were given the MB, OBE, Order of the British Empire, what's the MB? Member of the British Empire, would you accept that for works towards whether it's
Poetry.
the
arts?
some sort of,
yeah.
you're both in the artistic field, so it's
You want me to be honest? I don't even know what it means.
they're saying that because you have contributed so much to this art, whatever it may be, so music, photography, writing, something like, and you've contributed to society, we feel that you are now like
Officially.
of the upper echelon of our society.
What have she done recently for her to even get that?
You don't have to do it recently.
I think it might have just been her years of service.
Continuous
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
a accumulation of work, and it's like now we've got to you now.
You think that Lizzie them not is dances the boom in the?
No, listen,
In the palace.
she's getting it because they're trying to get more ethnics in. Clearly, because
The Queen is
they
clearly
gave it to Wiley last year. innit?
Yeah, Wiley was, he was
but
very
Wiley
cold. He
deserves
was
it, though.
shivering.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Wiley's like a knight for real.
Wiley's a crackhead.
We know this. But
So
pagan.
I didn't even know that.
What? Wiley's a crackhead.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
on,
I
he's
don't
on
know.
something.
He's on something.
He's on
You
something.
pagans, all of ya.
So
Probably, he's probably
Basically
high on. He
limitations
maybe
still.
takes a lot of skunk on that, and it's
Well,
that's just as bad, man.
I don't know, man. But
Bun
Wiley's
you
mad.
skunk smokers. Anyways,
skunk smokers.
so the British Empire. Let me check it out what it actually means. But as far as I'm concerned,
Order of the British Empire.
no, I know what the
Empire.
words thing, but what does it
right.
actually?
It just means you're
actually
part of the empire,
It's
man.
like you're one of us now.
It makes you a sir and a man and a mom.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll be a
some of
lady then.
Lady.
Lady
Yeah.
CynTea.
Yeah.
Sound like that.
That sounds good.
It gets you
Official
into
because, yeah,
clubs.
you become
Gets you into
Joshua
clubs.
picked his one up the other day
Lady
as well.
CynTea.
Anthony Joshua got one
Yeah,
the other
Anthony
day.
Joshua.
Oh, got one already.
Yeah, he got one the other day.
I think it's in the same batch.
So,
Yeah.
so would you lot take it?
I'll let you answer
You know
first.
what? Yeah. I don't know because I still need to read up on it properly for me to actually know what it is. I know you gave me your, this thing. You gave me the definition, but I don't even know what it is. So if someone was to come up to me before this podcast, I'll be like, "Oh yes, give it to me." I don't know what it is.
Okay, then
It reduces your stop and search privileges.
You know what? I actually thought you were going to say, because before you said what you said, I actually thought you were going to say,
As
you
if
know
you
what?
wear it when you're
I have-
out.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were going to say,
bruv.
you know what? I haven't got my visa yet. That's what I thought you were actually going to say.
Now listen, I'm legit here. I'm an EU citizen. I
I
don't
don't
know
trust
what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen after Brexit, but
Not for long.
I should be okay.
Not
I
much
think
longer.
the line that we need to, or the word, is the empire part.
So I'm
So
part of them.
the thing is the empire they're talking about.
Yeah.
So the Britain had their empire. For those of you that don't know, Sin is not a native UK citizen.
Hence why I don't know what this
Yeah.
means.
So certain things may not resonate with her. Although this
Where was you born?
maybe should.
I was born in Holland.
Ah,
I speak Dutch and English.
oh, we like that.
And a little bit of, and you understand a little bit of something else.
Nah.
You don't understand that?
You don't understand
I'm
Yoruba
supposed
at
to
all.
speak Yoruba, Isha, and Ora with 3 Nigerian languages, but
Which
I
one is
don't-
Ishana Ora?
It's from Edo State.
Yeah.
Like it's around that bit's there, and a Delta.
Mm. Okay.
But I only speak Dutch and English. I think I told you guys the story, right?
Yeah,
I said it on the podcast before. When I went to, so can I just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
so in school, I was speaking Dutch. At home, I was speaking English. So there was a time I went to school and then I was mixing my dad's language, Ora, with English and Dutch. And then the teacher went to my dad and said, you need to eliminate one language because she's getting confused. That was the biggest mistake he made in his life.
Oh man, that's deep, you know. That's how they get
I
you.
was
though.
literally dead. Yeah.
That's how they
you
get
want me
you,
to
you know?
speak your stupid English?
That's how
I
they
could
get you.
have. I could have picked up English anywhere. innit?
Anytime.
So it's a shame.
That's
but
how they
hey,
get you. They got a lot of parents doing that same
Yeah.
move. Oh, your kids shouldn't speak that. Your kids shouldn't speak that. Asian people don't have it though. Grandma still now can't speak English. They'll tell you straight. My grandma don't speak English. If you can't speak whatever she's speaking, then she's not going to talk to you.
it's
Straight.
simple as that.
In fact, we we're just talking about bodegas just before we started, and there's a similar thing in I was comparing New York bodegas owned by the Spanish to the corner shops here in the UK owned by the Indians and the Pakistanis, and just like you said, the grandmoms that come over don't learn English. So I got neighbors, and my daughter plays with their son, and when I go into their house to whatever, when she runs in there and I have to get her out, you say hello to auntie. Auntie's just you get me? They just because they don't know what you're saying.
yes.
Like,
Black one.
Why is she running in the house like that, like so many dog, like not in a weird way, but like
She's playing, they're playing in it. They're
okay,
playing
so
with
she
each
ran
other.
in the house and you had to grab her, like what's going
No,
on?
but they're next door neighbors.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
neighbors in
Oh,
it.
is she next door?
No, we're above them.
Okay,
We're
okay.
above them. But we have a big like communal gardens. They run around in the garden, and their house is linked to the garden. So
Okay.
they'll run in and out.
Okay,
they'll play with
makes
each other.
sense.
So
Okay.
when I go in there, it's like
No, I wasn't trying to call your daughter a dog. or
yeah, you
anything,
just called her a
but
rat. You called her an East
No,
London rat. That's what you just
no,
did.
I-
You did kind of
It's
call her
all
a
good.
dog.
No.
Don't worry, when I snatch off your wig when we're done, it's all good.
I'm gonna have to take it off before that even happens.
But my point is, in Spain, in New York, you'll have that same thing where you'll have the person that has come over from Mexico or from
Puerto Rico.
or whatever, and they don't speak any English as well. Because there's communities in America where they don't speak English.
Yeah.
Like who's been Miami?
I haven't been yet.
No.
Or Little Havana, right?
No, it's not. I was in the airport. Forget Little Havana. I've gone to Little Havana. In the airport, and I needed assistance. And the woman working in the airport couldn't speak English. In America.
Signor Superman no here.
Hola, senor.
That woman from what's it, Family Guy?
yeah.
No, signori. We don't have lemon plates.
That's all she says.
So anyway, sorry.
Family Guy is rude,
Let's
boy.
get back to the topic at hand. So
We didn't even ask. No, he didn't finish with it.
yeah, but I'm going to explain what
Would
it
you
is.
take it?
I know what he's going to say. He doesn't even celebrate Christmas. Come on. But let me just explain what it is. It says the most excellent order of the British Empire is a British order of chivalry, rewarding contributions to the arts and sciences, work with charitable or welfare organizations and public services outside the civil service, yada, yada, yada. It was established by King George V and compromises of the 5 classes across both civil and military divisions. There is a related British Empire medal. And you get the medal once you joined up. So basically, that's what we said.
Does they give you anything off tax? Because I don't understand why people go for it unless it's giving them something.
I'm sure there
off.
must be some kind of lump sum. with it.
Yeah, something must come with it for
Yeah.
people
I
to
don't
be
think
going out their
people-
way to go and do it.
People
It
don't
can't
go
just
for
be
it.
the medal.
They
Yeah,
get
that's what I
offered
reckon as well. Yeah, they get offered it. I'm thinking it must give you like a tax break or something.
Is there a check that's going to pay the bill?
In it? Did he pay this?
I mean, it
bill?
boosts your status. So I guess like if you're an artist,
So you get 2 blue ticks.
Hey, in 2003, the Sunday Times published a list of the people who had rejected the order of the British Empire.
Benjamin Zephaniah.
Zaf,
It
yeah.
included
Being one
David
of them.
Bowie,
Oh really?
What he said no.
Larger,
yeah,
larger.
Nigella Lawson, yeah, the rest of
Nigella?
Nigella,
No way.
big breast Nigella, yes, she said no.
Big breast.
I'm
Nice.
cooking
wait to
tonight. I
remember
can't make it.
Toxic masculinity in this area.
And then what is it? Benjamin was it?
Zephaniah.
Benjamin
Yeah.
Zephaniah.
Sorry, the order has
Benjamin
attracted
Zephaniah,
some
you know.
criticism for
Man, took it there, boy.
What?
Go on. I said that with Benjamin. Keep going.
All right, the order has attracted some criticism for its naming, having connections with the idea of the now extinct British Empire.
Colonization.
Quote, unquote.
So Benjamin Zephaniah,
Yeah.
oh wicked, all right, the British Jamaican poet publicly rejected the appointment in 2003 because he asserted it reminded him of the thousands of years of brutality. He also said that it reminded me of how my foremothers were raped and my forefathers brutalized. So that's why certain people reject it.
Maybe David Bowie registered because of his wife.
David Bowie's wife, Imam,
Yeah.
she is
East African descent?
Is she Ethiopian?
Yeah, no,
Somalia.
she's Somalian.
Yeah, so maybe he rejected it because of her.
Potentially. So that's why some people say because it's to this empire thing. So JJ, go on.
I actually have to answer now. No, I personally wouldn't accept it. I have no reason to. There's nothing about the British Empire or the monarchy that I find appealing, you know. And I think it's a bit strange, like, because we're talking about in 2018. If you look at the whole concept of monarchy and royalty, right? It's like these people are divinely chosen to rule over us. Like, how can we have that? How can we accept that as factual, but also want an egalitarian society, like an equal society? Yet these people are divinely chosen to rule us.
But they're not pretending like they're equal.
Well, exactly, but somehow like we're the ones who are supposed
I
to.
get what you're saying.
Do you know what I
It's
like
like
There's
if
a
we're
bit of a
fighting for this,
contradiction.
right? Yeah,
Like,
we can't be saying, okay,
you know.
yes, black power, and all of a sudden we're
And
doing.
at least like back in the
it's a
day,
bit-
you know, when they used to go to war and that,
they
like, you know,
used
the
to be
prince
front
would be
line,
front line, right? Cool.
Yeah.
But Harry tried to do a little PR stunt thing and they protected him bare.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at least like do something that I can be like, oh, you know what? Like I rate that, innit?
They
Like,
give you your speech at Christmas, fam.
And we've got Meghan.
But
Meghan Markle.
Harry's doing
oh,
something
you
for the
know what?
community
If I,
with Meghan. That's what I'm
if I
saying.
was to, I might be baiting out my plan. But if I was to, they will listen anyway. But I'll be like, yeah, I'd accept it when I get up on that podium. But I might have to drop a few words, like, do you know what I mean? And then
Two bars.
but then, like,
And then you're
that's-
dashing the thing on the floor, you're taking it
that's
with you.
just I'm dashing it, and I'll dash it. I have to make a big political statement. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a protest. If I accept it, it'll be a protest.
So wait, is
Somehow.
it a medal or what is it?
Yeah, it's a medal.
It's a medal and
you-
a status.
It's
Yeah.
a title.
It's medal and they do this, innit?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
That's when you've been
Yeah.
knighted.
No, but I think they do that with.
They do it
stuff
with all
as
of
well.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you get a medal as well.
And you have to kneel as well. That's a bit mad. I'm
Ah,
sorry. I don't know.
kneel.
Oh, that jizz,
sorry.
yeah,
I don't know about
And
kneeling.
Imagine Prince Harry, and I'm kneeling to
No,
Prince Harry.
I'm not kneeling
He was
to
on road, bruv.
I'm not kneeling to Harry.
Who are you, like? Do you know what I mean?
So every time you meet him, you kneel to him.
You have to go by
Can
there
you
to him.
imagine?
No, I'm not kneeling to Harry.
Nah,
So I don't
the
know.
whole idea of colonization throughout nations. We're talking about throughout massive chunks of Africa and beyond. And to accept something like that will be well against my principles.
Yeah.
Not having it. And
yeah.
the idea of a protest is quite interesting. To accept it, speech, and then that's this
Psych.
thing.
So, I'm going to ask a question, yeah? Because a couple of you got children in there, right? And we all maybe get children in the future. What if you have a child and they decide that they want to accept it? How would you deal with that?
I've always said when it comes to bringing up children is that you teach them their history, let them know who they are, where they've come from, what has happened to us, and what is happening to us. Teach them well. And then if they then decide after that, remember, you got to surround your kids with the right people as well. It's not just about teaching them. It's about them being around the right type of people, right? Adults, right kids, influential people as well. And if they grow up and they still want to be a coon, then
You took it there.
in some ways I would consider myself a failure.
You just said you'd accept it, innit?
Just don't know.
I'm not a coon. I'm not a coon.
Yeah, but are you gonna accept it or not?
Now he's explained it properly. Nah.
The way that you just wanted to dash somebody, to fire at somebody.
He said it, not me.
You did say it though.
Now you know what? Yeah. Now after he proper went, you broke it down from there to
You
and I was like,
dissected the meaning.
yeah. And now I'm like,
I think a lot of our parents would tell us to take it,
yeah.
Yeah,
no,
no,
they
definitely.
would. They
Yo,
definitely
my
would.
mum would flip if she found out
course
that
they
I
would.
Yeah,
refused to. She knows already that I'm not about it. Like, but it's like, I don't know. I beyond the contradiction as well. It's just the you going into that space and you're seeing all the ridiculous level of wealth there, and that's been
Stolen.
directly exploited.
Yeah.
Like, I'm from Congo, so we were colonized by Belgians, right? So the relationship that I have with the UK is a little bit different. Although they were implicit in the colonization, but it wasn't a direct relationship. So, but anytime I'm in Belgium, I'm angry all the time. I'm angry all the time because I just look around. I'm like, yeah. So it doesn't sit right.
Napoleon,
with my conscience, like,
Ban Napoleon.
exactly. It doesn't
not
sit
Napoleon.
right with my conscience. That's France. But,
Leopold.
Leopold.
Oh, Leopold.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
mistake.
Napoleon was France, but still, France as well did a
The
madness.
same person is
Yeah.
a
Exactly.
foolish man.
They are.
all connected.
Isn't
They're all
France still
buddies.
not? Isn't France still not doing the madness because
Yeah.
they're still charging that? Was it that tax
That
that?
colonial tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But France,
sending back
Mr.
things.
Signor Macron, or
He's sending back the things.
Monsieur Macron has said
He wants to, yeah.
that he said that he's going to give back all the African artifacts from the museums. He's
But
giving
is he
them
going to
back.
stop the tax?
Listen, just take your trinkets in it and be happy with that. Don't worry about
Is
the
he going to
tax.
stop the tax?
No, hold on. Which one would you prefer, the tax or the?
Neither innit? Why are you taxing?
You know, if you had a choice, if you said today, okay, it's either you get
Can someone
the
explain the tax
museum
for me,
stuff
please?
or the tax. Which one are you taking?
Sin, can you explain the tax for me, please?
I don't know much about tax.
Somebody, please.
Basically, the countries that have been colonized, once they said, "Oh, we're going to leave you now to be independent, but we're still going to tax you," basically, that basically they're taxing you for your independence.
Yeah.
So you're it's like when you're, it's like when you're.
So you have to pay.
You're
basically.
still not really independent.
It's basically when the mafia. When the mafia works, they do things and they say, you know what,
You need protection.
Yeah, you need protection. Basically, you're gonna let you have your own shops on these streets. You that's your shop, that's yours, isn't it?
Racketeering.
But,
Yeah, it's a big racket.
If,
Hold on a minute,
if somebody
fam.
comes into your shop and
mad.
tries to rob you, you might need some protection. So
Hold on.
every month
Yeah.
you need to give us a bit of money.
I can't.
And-
but are you telling me that, Cameroon, for example, are paying France?
Yeah.
to
Not
be
only that.
independent?
Not only that. So all the francophone countries, especially in West Africa, France still prints their money. So their annual budgetary allowance is maintained by France.
Damn.
Do you not know this?
So if they're say for instance, back in the during I think it was the Labour government
That's
under
bitch behaviour,
Brown when they was talking about here quantitative easing and boosting more money into the economy, blah blah blah.
I didn't know.
If they want to do that in Cameroon, for instance, they have to ask France's permission. If France says no, you can't print more money to boost your economy. That's it. I'll be like, okay.
This is.
Monsieur, what are you talking about?
This is
I want more
painful.
cash.
How about Nigeria?
I give you nothing.
Nigeria's not part of
Yeah.
the francophone
It's only-
Commonwealth.
it's-
So.
It's only France, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were colonized by
English.
The English, yeah.
But they what they did with our one is obviously they just put whoever they wanted to put in power. and has raped us of our resources.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
it's a bit
We're going
mad.
to let you be independent, but we're going to take the that thing, that thing, and this, and we'll, because Britain don't make nothing. That's why they're running around over
Everything
Brexit
is
now.
imported.
Yeah, they don't even nothing apart from weapons they make in this country.
That's why they're running
potatoes.
around with like headless chicken because of the Brexit thing.
potatoes.
Because after Brexit is into effect, I don't know how they're going to import all these things
Walker's
easily.
number one.
I don't know either. I don't,
Walker's is dead as well.
I don't know either. But
What's it? Salt and cheese. What's the
Salt and
flavour?
cheese.
Salt and pepper.
No,
Is it
ready
salt and pepper?
salted.
What kind of seasoning is
salt and cheese.
I don't know, man. I don't eat crisps. I don't eat crisps.
Salt and cheese.
You know what? Let's go further.
You said that in bare vim.
Right, JJ, was you born in this country as well?
Nah.
So you wasn't born in this country. So I've read your book, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell them the title of the book.
No place to call home.
All right, so it's almost kind of self-explanatory, kind of like what the book is referring to. And you yourself saying, I've also just obviously you wasn't born here. So there was a question that I put in the docket that I wanted to discuss actually. So when did you come over, JJ? How old were
When
you?
I was about 7.
And how old was you when you reached here?
15.
All right, so
Oh wow.
and all of the rest of us was all born in England. Yeah, so we all was born here. We
Yeah.
all lived here. How was it when you lot came to this country? How was it for you guys when you actually came here? Like how because obviously you still got a bit of an accent and everything.
The
as
thing
well.
is, you came from Africa, right? Or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came from, I was already in Europe.
Don't make a difference.
It does.
So
It,
no, because
Of
yeah,
course it
I
makes a
feel like it
difference.
does. Yeah,
it makes a difference because he's
But it's
coming
still-
from Africa.
Yeah,
I'm
but
coming
it's still not the same country that he's coming.
So
from.
what
From
happened-
one country to another.
But it makes a
I
difference.
know, but the
when did
lifestyle
you
was.
leave? Were you born in Nigeria then?
No, I was born in Holland, born and raised, lived there
Oh,
for 15
right,
years.
okay, yeah.
So
It's a big difference.
I would say the standard of living was pretty much the same. I would say the food was definitely different. You know, the Dutch food is better, but I can't really say, oh yeah, there's a massive. The language is of course different. We drive on the different side of the road. You know,
But you came in the time when you were still going to school.
yeah. So in that sense, yeah. What my experience of
Yeah.
how to, it wasn't too much of a struggle, but then it was so. I was used to writing essays in Dutch, so I had to switch it up real quick to English, which I just about spoke. I can speak English. I learned how to speak English with an African accent, hence why my African accent is
very
solid,
strong.
right? But when I came here, I didn't even sound the way I sound. I sounded very weird, and people said, "Are you American?" I was like, "I'm Dutch," and
Dutch has got a certain way.
to
Yeah.
write was to write. I had to literally translate everything I wanted to say from Dutch to English, even though I already knew how to speak English, just because that you guys were speaking faster for me. I understood it, and you guys were just using words that I didn't know. I was just like,
Yeah, it was a question of
Yeah.
slang and
I
certain
was
dialects.
like, what does comprehend mean? You know, just simple words
Okay.
like that. But now, of course, after 10, how long have I been here now for? I think 11 years, got the hang of it. But at the beginning it was a struggle because I literally had to translate everything from Dutch to English in my head.
Okay, so outside of the language then,
What, life in general?
yeah, it was quite a smooth transition for you then.
Ish, yeah. It's just that the uniform was shit here, but we didn't have any uniform over there.
Oh, okay. You was working, so you lot had enough money to have your clothes. Every
Everybody
day.
just wears their own clothes. We didn't really do the uniform.
I like uniform. I think uniform's good.
I don't like uniform, but
Okay, we could talk about it after though.
And as for school, I think schooling in Holland is better because I feel like,
Finn, you're
yeah.
gonna have to lift this microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go.
Is that better?
And then face it to you. Thank you very
Is that
much.
better? Okay.
No,
So
that's what I want you to do, man. Let people talk.
is that better?
Just talk. You
Okay,
Don't
okay.
worry about the mic.
Okay, so schooling in Holland was better than compared to here because I remember we were doing 4 subjects here, right? And then over in Holland, I was doing like about 9 subjects. And people were struggling saying, oh, I can't do this. I'm thinking in Holland, I was doing 9 subjects and I was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm still fine here. So I feel like people here in terms of,
Are useless?
no, I wouldn't say useless, but I feel like they're very relaxed with the education here. They could
Privileged.
have,
Yeah, entitled and that, yeah.
they just didn't really want to do the work. But I was so used to doing like 9 subjects at the same time. I was learning like I was doing Greek, Latin, Dutch itself, English, French, and German. I was doing 6 languages in one go, plus all the other things.
Language is not important in this country at all.
yeah.
At all.
So
Imagine.
so as for education was slightly different too. But yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
All right. So Jay, you came when you were 7.
Yeah, so for me, like, man, it was a shock in terms of, I guess, making that transition. When you're young, you don't really know. You're just thrown into a new environment. So you come over and so forth straight into primary school. Couldn't speak the language, so a lot of the times, I mean, if I'm honest, we got into a lot of fights a lot because you're bullied, whatever.
This is the thing that I wanted to get into. I was asking about.
But do you understand what mine's
is a bit different?
It's different because
but-
I'm already in Europe.
Yeah, so we got into a lot of fights. I remember probably like the earliest memory was in primary school. First went to primary school in Barnet, I think. And there was some kid who was basically picking on me. I think I was in year 4, 5 or 6, one of them. And went to tell my dad. And then he was like, some boy's picking on you. Okay, so you have to go back to school tomorrow and fight him. If you don't fight him, you fight me.
Wow.
So I was like, rah. I'll take my chances, boy. Next day, went to school, like, had the boy up, you know, and then he kind of left it alone. And it was just always kind of like navigating these circumstances. And then eventually you pick up the language or whatever. And the thing for me has always been, like, that experience has been a big part of me. But obviously listening to me, you wouldn't really be able to tell. So it's kind of like being part of, like, different worlds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So did they, when you came here, did they try to drop you a year? Or did you go straight into your normal year?
I went straight into because I was young enough, so I was straight into my normal year.
You know
there was the whole thing of like, challenged and this and that and whatever and learning, blah, blah, blah. Like I had all of that. But, do you know, I remember like when I was in secondary school, like they said my reading age was like 10 years old or whatever, all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, it wasn't, the thing is, the stuff that I was learning wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
they try to find ways to make you sound you're the worse than you are.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason why I asked these questions is because obviously I said your book is very focused on that situation where somebody's come over from Congo again and obviously living his life in London and the stuff that, you know, they experience and whatnot. And it always reminds me of me because I know you guys obviously might have had the same experiences I did, but we was London Nigerians basically, yeah? So all of us are London Nigerians. So we went to school as London Nigerians. So we still kind of got picked on because we were London Nigerians, but not to the same extent of the ones that came over and had to then obviously assimilate with the English that schooling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was times when I'd have to be protecting other Nigerians because one, their English is not their first language, so they're trying to obviously get into speaking English. People want to try and pretend their name is something different that it's not. So I had kind of, it was a weird thing because I had kind of a beef with them and protecting them at the same time.
Yeah.
Because man's coming to England and telling me his name's Kevin, and I'm like, bruv, your name is not Kevin. Why you keep telling people your name is Kevin? Right? As you know, you don't know, but people that know me know that I've got a Yoruba name. I was born here, but my name is still the Yoruba name. I don't have an English name.
Yeah.
Right? So although I was born here, I do not have an English name. So you call me by my Yoruba name or you don't call me, basically. So these guys now, they come with all these other names like, for one, I don't know any Nigerian Kevin. I don't know anybody that could be like, unless they saw it on Coronation Street or something. There is no way that anyone's gonna say yes, Kevin. I don't even think it's a Bible name. If it's a Bible name, then I get it, but it's not even a Bible name.
Yeah, no.
So people are just making up names. So I had beef with them lot for those things, and then obviously I got the other people that's trying to call them African boo this, blah blah blah,
African
blah,
booty snatcher,
all of that type of stuff. So I had to beef with them over that. So like, who are you talking? Because obviously they think of you as being English. They think they can diss the Nigerians, but then when I'm giving them a slap now to tell them, are you mad? Who are you talking about?
So basically, you're fighting with saying, you're denying who you are.
Yeah, you're denying who you are. And this time I'm telling them, don't diss them for who they are.
Yeah.
Did you find out you had that same experiences when you was in school dealing with people looking at you a certain way?
Yeah, standard. I've got a Yoruba first name, but for me, and I think I mentioned this on a podcast previously, when I went into an interview with my mum, I remember I think it was the head teacher or the head of year. In fact, it was my mum. She said, "What do you want to be called?" I've got a Yoruba name and I've got English type Catholic name.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
We'll hear about that later.
And I just said my Yoruba name. I said, this is what people know me by. And I'm just like 10, 11. And this is what I'm going to be called. You know what I mean? And when I got to school, if you know Yoruba names, sometimes they're cut up in parts. Mm-hmm. For some reason, I just wanted them to call me by my shortened version because it's the elders that call me by the long version. Mm-hmm. You're not good enough to call me that.
Yeah.
You get me? So, you know, because of my name, I always had a little bit. But, you know what I mean? I'm a patriot and I wasn't even born there. I kind of always wished I was born there. And for those that weren't, so for those that were born in Africa, I kind of envy them.
Yeah, me too. And they probably envy us, which is weird, isn't it?
It's true.
Everybody's always looking at the other side, man. Of the
grass
grass is always green over there.
True say.
Yeah. I want to feel more African than what I am, and I think
I feel the same.
Yeah, man,
I always say, you know
standard.
what? Honestly, there's no way, like, because it's just about how you feel within. Because
That's it.
You know, the way I learned that as well. So when I first went back home in 2014, so I got majority of my family's out there. I got a cousin out there who's pretty much my age and similar experiences, like in terms of like he went to university, he's educated.
Back home?
Yeah, back home.
So
though.
proper education.
So proper, like proper Congolese, like from Kinshasa, like through and through, lived there, hasn't left the country. And yo, going back, when I tell you, yeah, it felt like I was more African than he was. Because
I hear what you're
it
saying.
It was like he had grown up here and I had grown up there.
I hear.
Because he was all
It's
about
weird.
the Kardashians, this, that, Kanye did this. The
Western influence is strong.
Was so strong.
Yeah.
Like, and he was all branded, always branded, Gucci this, whatever. He's like, where's your designers? You're from Europe, blah, blah, blah.
Can I ask this? Do you speak the native? Is it Lingala, Swahili? They
Yeah,
speak there.
Lingala, Swahili, Chiluba, and Kikongo. So I speak.
So you're from
Lingala.
DRC, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, so the natives that are there, like
Yeah.
your age group,
yeah.
do they still speak those languages,
So
or are they more
It's kind of split.
French? And,
It's more French. There's past few years has been a bit of like kind of cultural pride and resurgence.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So more people are kind of speaking Lingala and that. But it's kind of split. You can legit like meet someone who doesn't speak Lingala. I've got like other family members who don't speak Lingala. My little nephew like doesn't speak Lingala. I'm always going on about it. Like he speaks French, and that's his main. Like, and he's never
and doesn't understand it either.
he understands it.
Okay.
So like through music and stuff, you might understand it. But it's just still this kind of colonial, I guess, like indoctrination about languages.
And I
man.
think that's the same with the monarchy.
yeah,
You get
yeah,
me? And that's
yeah.
why some of our elders still
Obsessed
love
with it. Obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But you know what? For the young people, the music scene is making it a bit easier for people to feel more patriotic about back home.
Yeah.
Especially now when you see artists collaborating with other big artists. And
Yeah.
you hear Yoruba here, you hear a little bit Igbo there, you hear Lingala in certain places.
Yeah,
like all of these, and South Africans, whatever they speak, whichever languages they speak. I don't know the languages. You should know them.
Xhosa.
That's your
Xhosa
people.
as well.
That's your people's thing.
Swahili.
Exactly. So when people are now dropping those into the mainstream now, people are feeling a bit more prideful that they can live that life. As I said, when we was younger, it was not acceptable. Now I don't know about you, but I don't know how much Congolese music you hear in the clubs now, because obviously the Nigerian and Ghanaian music is quite heavy.
Yeah,
I don't know how much
They
Congolese
play
music.
particular ones like
You said you could dance to some.
Kofi
innit?
Olomide. That
Yeah.
Yeah, Kofi Olomide has been
that-
rinsing this
yeah.
place for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been he's been rinsing this country for
What
years.
was that dance for?
I'll do it
That was one distorted robot.
That's not the dance. By
She
the
did the
way. If you
Maple.
lot can see this, that's not the dance.
But I think
He distances her from that quick.
that is not our
That
people.
is not us.
What's that? The Theresa May dance? Yeah, for real.
Do the Teresa. But I because obviously, again, you got your community. You talk about your community. We know that you're quite heavy in the community there, yeah. So I know you used to have your own rate. I used to see Olomide everywhere. I was like, who's this guy? Why is he every single time he's coming to rinse money from this country?
Yeah.
So I know that you got your own raves, but I don't know about you, Sin, because you're quite young. So and you just came here not too long ago. But I know the rest of you guys obviously would know. When we was younger, you did not hear any Nigerian music in the clubs, right?
Of course.
You did not hear it.
No, I did go out when I was 15 and stuff. There was no Nigerian music. It's true.
Okay, so you still
Because
all the
them
time.
times it was Ponder River, Ponder Pang.
Ah, okay, it was the
Bang.
Jamaicans.
Yeah, exactly.
They were doing
So-
their tangs.
So you
But-
wouldn't hear anything until about 2008. You hear Congasso and them stuff that came out.
She knows it. She
know?
knows it. I know she would know it.
You know,
So when that, because of the way that I was brought up, as I said, being like the one or two Nigerians that was in my school, and there was a lot of Jamaicans around, a lot of other Caribbean people, and obviously they've got their soca, they've got bashment, they've got reggae, they've got all of these musics, and predominantly that was what you get played in the club along with hip hop and R&B. You never ever heard Afro beats. You never heard a fella that's dropped in there one time, like somebody that just decided they're gonna just play. The thing you might hear Sweet Mother out of nowhere, somebody might just drop it just to tease
like-
you.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
never really heard any type of Afrobeat songs. The one time I started hearing Afrobeats in the club, I'm not an emotional person, right? Oh, unless you want to call, we call anger emotion. I get angry all the time, so fair enough.
Yeah, you
in that way,
admitted.
we know.
in that way, I can be,
Yeah, this conversation with
I can
your
be
wife.
seen as emotional. Huh?
I said I had this conversation with your wife.
Okay, but when they started to play Afro beats on Niger Jams, as it was called those times, in the club, I almost started to cry. That it hit me that much. That I almost started to cry.
Like
because
Steph.
Huh?
Like Steph.
Not like him. He just cries over spilt milk, literally. I dropped milk. But anyway, so it was like the sense of pride in my chest that I was hearing my own language being sung, and I saw masses of people like Nigerians that have been kind of like underground in the clubs. You couldn't really do your thing because there was nothing for you to do.
The revolution has started.
Yeah, basically it was like we had our own thing. Like it was our time. Even if it was 10 minutes, started with 10 minutes. Then that started with like half an hour.
Now it's for half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes.
Yeah, now you have whole raves where it's just Afrobeats.
Whole sets, yeah.
Fully.
And now you got DJs that just come to play Afrobeats. But at the time, it properly made me feel away because of the way that we was brought up, the way that we was, sectionized. Because there's still a lot of underlining beefs between Caribbeans and Africans.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still there, quite heavy.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know, because you guys have come over a little bit later. I don't know if you felt...
No.
You might have felt...
Definitely.
I've experienced stuff in the sense where I've seen people say, I'm half Nigerian and half Trinidad, but your surname is saying otherwise. and I'm like, what's going on here? And now you're Niger to the core. What's going on? It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, because at the time people were trying to claim things that they weren't, because if you wasn't, you was looked down on.
Yeah.
In Holland, we had, sorry to cut you off. In Holland, we had the same thing. Like there was a specific word they would use to call African people, but now it's like,
What was the word?
they would say boku.
What does that mean?
It's just I don't even know
like
what
freshy?
it means. Something maybe like it probably means something like darky or whatever. It wasn't don't quote me, I don't know if it's the exact definition, but it just wasn't something nice to be called.
It was a slanderous word.
Exactly.
Netherlands is where they have that Black Pete tradition.
Yeah, Zwarte Piet.
Slatter Pete.
Yeah,
Zwarte Piet in Sinterklaas.
Those types of things and making us, going from what we've seen at the beginning to now, where I don't know, but African culture is even more prominent than anything now in London anyway. It's like it's literally almost a takeover to the point where even, again, a lot of Caribbean people are getting more involved in African cultures, and it's really a good thing to see.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of them speaking like bits of Pidgin. Obviously, that's where they start. Then they have the little bits of the different languages that they've picked up. A lot of the Jamaican people have got a lot more close to Ghanaian heritage now, obviously, because of the links as well.
There's a lot of links.
I think the combination of...
No, they're gone.
I was just going to say the combination of Nollywood and West African music has helped that.
Yeah,
you'll find Caribbeans that were born back in the Caribbean that love Nollywood.
Yeah.
You get me? As in they know more than some of us in terms of the movie scene and even the music scene.
Just go to one of the salons, bro. Go on.
Trust me.
Yeah, I was to say, even like back home as well, like there's a massive, we always talk about this kind of like Caribbean versus African kind of beef and this and that and whatever, but we don't talk about like the love and the togetherness that's there. Like when I went back to Uganda last year, like we went out to one bar, and they were just playing like dancehall and soca all night. They love it out there. Love it. Like we went to several places and that was it. Like it pops there and everyone's just like, yeah, this is our music. We love it. And I had no idea. Like, do you know what I mean? And I've never heard of that like happening even back home. You don't really think about it like that. But it's like dancehall, bashment, soca, whatever. It's proper big in so many places like back home and even in Congo as well. So like there's those connections there. I think we need to be aware of that.
Yeah, I think
There's an election going on in Congo at the moment, isn't it?
Whew. Yeah, supposed to be hunting today, boy.
Ooh, ciao.
Isn't it? Was it? No, it's the 30th, isn't it?
Well, it got moved. It was supposed to be the 23rd. Got moved to the 30th. I don't know why people are expecting it firstly, but
I was about to ask, does it even matter?
I mean, personally, it doesn't. The entire system just needs to be chucked in a bin, and I think there just needs to be a.
So you're an anarchist.
Boy, when anarchy needs be, until there's order, there's anarchy, innit? So,
all right, correct me if I'm wrong. From my understanding of what's going on in the DRC, there is somebody that's in power 2 years over the allotted time. So let's say in the UK it's 5 years per term, and in America it's like 4 years per term.
Yeah.
But he's gone over, and you can have 2 terms maximum. He's gone over his thing for 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's been promising that they'll do an election, and they've just now recently moved over to digital. What do we call it? The machine, voting.
Yeah.
But the place where all those machines were and whatnot, and the voting tabs was burnt down,
Yeah.
or
Caught
there was some
fire.
sort of thingy.
Yeah.
So they said they have to postpone it for a week because, and then I think it's the 30th that they're going to postpone it to. But listen, one of the leaders of the opposition, this is the gangster, because basically, you know, back in these countries, as soon as something like that happens, people want to break out and it's beef. Yeah, so the police have come out, they've shot people and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
This is just my understanding. This is the little bit.
No, it's very accurate though.
All right. So what's happened is that I think there's two people that are going for this new thing now. So one of them has said, you know what, fine, it's only a week. We'll wait for the week. We understand that this thing has been burnt down. We have to get news. Apparently, we have to order 3 million new slips and whatnot for people to vote. You know, things have to whatever. Okay, fine. We will allow the extra week. We waited 2 years, and then the other one said basically the same thing. But this, I think, his people is a bit like roll deep, and they were ready to fight. And he said, no, you know what, don't fight. And we'll wait until the 30th. And if the 30th comes and we can't do our vote, I don't need to say anything.
Oh wow,
That's what he said. I don't need to say anything. That's what he
my
said.
name is my name.
That's what he said.
Stale behavior,
He
boy.
said, boy, roll deep. Because
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
from when it comes, I don't need to say nothing. And I've been listening to I've been keeping up on African New Year. I'm definitely getting to this African like corner thing where we'll
Okay.
talk about it this
Alright,
week
it's
because
good.
I'm keeping up on stuff now.
It's
This is
good.
what
Yeah,
I
that's
know about this
It's,
stuff.
it's necessary.
So
So yeah, I mean, Congo's just I mean, it's been in the political mess for the past since 1998, to say the least. But really and truly since 1965.
Yeah.
But if we really want to be
Go ahead,
from
bro.
like since 1800s, do you know what I mean?
Talk
When Oyibo was there, that's it. Oyibo went there and caused problems.
Talk the things, man.
But it's just a case of like, and the whole Congo is ridiculously resource rich, and so that's why the exploitation is allowed to happen because I mean people literally make billions of it.
Congo is like because obviously we're very Nigerian centric in this podcast, and you hear about the stuff that we have in Nigeria that we have gold, we have oil, we have stuff there, yeah. But in Congo,
You've got that cobalt thing. Right?
Coltan, yeah.
And uranium.
Congo is Wakanda.
Congo have everything.
Congo is
Literally.
actually what they base Wakanda on.
Yeah,
Literally,
they have everything. You don't like Congo could easily be self-contained. It's like we don't need
Like, comfortably.
we don't even need other places in
It's estimated
Africa.
it has a wealth of just natural resources alone, of $34 trillion.
Congo's no joke. Like in terms of what they have,
Like if
in the
but it's like you could almost have it that by virtue of just being born Congolese, you could be given $1 million in your lifetime as like citizenship endowment payment, and the economy would still be fine.
Well, let's
like
not
that's how
let's
rich
not
it is.
talk about Gaddafi and whatnot.
Do you know what I mean? But can we imagine that?
Yeah, man.
Like,
you could, but it's gonna get shut down.
but,
There's leaders that we need to salute as well. There are some that gave it a go. You
yeah,
get me?
definitely.
There's some that came and tried to change, and we all know what happened to them. One person that I've done a little bit of reading on, I might have mentioned it on the previous podcast, is Thomas Sankara.
Yes.
Thomas Sankara did try the thing.
So you know all
Tried
about
it.
this guy. He was the leader of Burkina Faso, and he took over Burkina Faso in a bloodless coup. Bloodless. So that's a good start. And he made them self-sufficient.
Yeah, they were making
In
their
4
own clothes.
years, he removed them from the IMF. And what's the other one? There's another international bank. So he removed them from there. They were self-sufficient, and that's when obviously the French came and said, listen, talking to his brethren, come, come. We'll give you this if you can help bring them back into this.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you always got to watch your back, man.
So what happened to him?
What do you think, bro?
That's
It's a
weird.
very sad story.
Yeah.
It really is, because you can see someone who's trying to, and when you hear his speeches are deep. You know, bro.
Yeah, he's got some
How
brave-
long ago was this?
Not too long ago.
Not even that long ago.
1983,
We're talking
1983 to
about,
Yeah, because he
1987,
used to
yeah.
move with people like Fella and those types
That's
of
what I'm
people. He used to
saying.
talk about it
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
greatly, and because
Yeah.
he was trying to thing.
And when you hear the man talk, one of the things that he said was, I have to educate my soldiers. Because if I don't educate my soldiers, people that are fighting for a war that they don't know are just killers.
Yes.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
me? So
Yeah.
the guy's deep.
Yeah, man.
And when you hear these stories and you can see there are people out there that are giving it a go, you just know that.
giving
And the
me
thing
pride,
is, this guy, he was talking about stuff that people are only now talking about. So stuff like gender equality and stuff, empowering
yes.
women, all of that.
Yes,
So they have a tradition in Burkina Faso that he put forward on International Women's Day, that all the men have to do what's considered traditionally women's roles. And so, like, it was a big thing. It's still a big thing now. And they'd have like massive festivals and whatever, where men would like go to the market and do all the cooking, do
love
the
my people,
cleaning,
you know. I love
and
my
all of that.
people.
I'm telling you, there's so much progress.
But the thing about that type of situation, that particular thing there is that
Yeah.
men don't necessarily appreciate what their woman is doing at home until they have to do it themselves.
yeah.
And same thing even with women, because sometimes the women don't appreciate what their man is doing at work. They think, oh, you're just going there, sitting down, doing what you're doing, and whatever if you work in an office job. But definitely at home, because they're at home, they're like, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what you're born to do, basically. That's what they see it as, until they have to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, oh, okay, maybe I can appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. This is I'm really enjoying this conversation.
there's when you keep going, I'm gonna go because I need to get to JJ at some point about something else.
Okay.
It's okay if you forget, you know.
I'm not gonna forget about it.
He hasn't forgotten.
I haven't forgotten.
This is going to be quite an African focused podcast then, because a lot of the topics we got are African focused. So we're having an African Christmas here.
We can have African Caribbean as well, you know.
No, it's African.
because we're all African
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't
okay.
mean to cut
In that
anyone off.
sense.
No, but we're all one people, so
Yeah,
like,
exactly. We all one, mate.
You know what I mean?
And where did they come from?
The heart of Africa.
we all came from
Africa.
Sirius. Sirius Galaxy.
Africa.
All right.
Right
so
in the middle.
This is not to. I'm not trying to
Pangea,
besmirch
baby.
the Caribbean people
No, you
and our
guys are
listeners.
family too.
Of
innit?
course.
Well, we
of
know we
course.
love them still.
Yeah. Don't say anything bad after that.
No, I'm not. I love me and Caribbeans are cool, man.
I'm so happy you guys
Listen, I
haven't
need to
cast
go to
anybody
Jamaica.
today. I'm so happy.
Oh my God! Don't
The
jinx
Ghanaians
it.
are going to get at some point soon. Don't worry, they're coming.
Don't start.
It would be a
Even-
nice time to have a
Christmas,
laser.
I
We need to have a
beg.
laser. Like, right now would be perfect.
I take God beg you. This is Christmas, please.
That would be perfect.
Did I hear right that in Congo the Swahili is one of the languages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to bring us nicely onto one of our topics then. Somebody from I think Zimbabwe has started a petition online to
Zim in the house.
to
Big up, Uncle.
combat
Big up their
Disney, who have the trademark for the term Hakuna Matata.
Oh yeah.
So you know the Lion King is coming out with a live action thing soon.
I think next year, right?
Or whatever it is.
Like James Earl Jones, he getting their money twice.
For shizzle. So yeah, they're coming out with their new thing. They've got the advert there, and people's like, you know what? This Hakuna Matata. I still haven't seen the film, but I know that song.
What, the original Lion King?
Yeah, I've seen the play. I've seen the play. I haven't seen the film, but
Okay.
it doesn't matter. When my daughter gets old enough, I'm gonna watch it with
Kind
her.
of matters.
I know you want to say you've seen it.
No. I also have not seen the Lion King properly from the beginning to the end in one sitting.
Wow.
Like
Yes,
you have. Like I've broken it into different places, but I don't.
Yes, you have.
It's
Yes, you have.
I was watching you watch it.
All right. For those of you that don't know, there's a lot of things I haven't watched that Wahala seems to.
No, you have watched it.
So we have this argument often. But anyways, so I know that's a very popular song. It was written by Elton John and who else wrote it?
Was it Rice? Tim Rice?
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata.
Yes. So, but then
Wonderful
Disney.
day.
So I think this film came out in '93. Disney applied for the trademark, or '98, and they got the trademark in 2003. So now they own the rights to Hakuna Matata.
So
The
if you
actual
print
saying
it-
itself.
That's a bit mad.
You can say it and they can't sue you, but you can't print it on anything. You can't put it on T-shirts. You can't write it in a book. If they want to, they can sue you for that. So this person is saying this is cultural appropriation.
Yep.
We need
Yep.
to take this back from them. How can you take something that's a Swahili word spoken in numerous countries throughout Africa? I think Kenya is the main one, basically.
Yeah.
So how can you take this term and
just take it.
basically bastardize it.
what do you think about that? Do you think no? At the end of the day, worldwide rights. When it comes to copyright and stuff, you can copyright whatever you want. There's a thing you can go and copyright it. Disney went there first.
This is a
There
mad
were,
thing.
there were decades and decades and decades when somebody else could have. They didn't.
This is almost linked to like that what's going on with that dancing thing that's going on with Fortnite as well.
Yeah.
Where people are trying to
With the Millie Rock
Millie Rock
and
the Carlton
the
dance.
dabbing and stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't Carlton suing?
Yeah, Carlton suing as well.
Suing, yeah.
And one where that the defloss or whatever it's called, they're all suing. But this is mad because it's someone's language. That's like somebody saying. Then again, do we have the same copyrights for English sayings like?
Because it's like-
have a good day or good morning. Can you copyright that?
You could.
then I don't know what to say. If somebody's done it already, and
You
it's
can, you,
Nah,
can
but-
you can copyright a lot of
Hasn't
stuff.
Have a Nice Day been copyrighted?
I don't
Now
know.
have a nice. I
No, I
think
feel
probably
like-
by because Vuj has a Vujanic. He has a line called "Have a Nice." So
don't know
maybe
who Vujanic
maybe
is.
he does it with Poets Corner from Half Cast Podcast.
I don't know.
Okay, well I'll show you guys a picture of him. Do you know who
Yeah,
Vujanic is?
yeah,
So
that football
I
guy,
think
stuff
yeah,
like that.
exactly Copper 90. But I think they probably trademarked that. I don't
Okay.
know about Have a Nice Day though. But I think Have a Nice is trademarked.
But so, because I think it's mad. If it's a saying that it's like somebody to copyright Kilo Shele or something like that.
No, it's like them copywriting "To God Be the Glory" will be peak for the Nollywood
Yeah, it
movies.
would, you know, but
Yeah, someone should copyright like "God Save the Queen" or whatever.
Yeah.
and then
I'm sure that's
and then
already
print that.
I'm
Yeah,
sure that's
print that in
already done.
China or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then they should make the money. I feel like that it's all about power dynamics, isn't it? The courts won't even allow you to think
that, yeah.
that you can do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't have the same kind of access to English or Western ideas, sayings, products, whatever, as they do to us. So they feel to whatever cultures they've dominated.
If you had the money, I'm sure you could. Then you could do it.
Nah, I don't
might
think they
try
would
one
let you
day.
do that. I don't think they would
not even
definitely
good,
nothing
man.
to do with the Queen. You're not going to be allowed.
Oh,
to do
forget the Queen one then, because
But that is a very good example.
Not really.
I would stick to an example where it's just an English term that is an English
Yeah.
term, as opposed to something that's related to the
Like
royalty.
keep calm. You know that.
yeah,
that-
yeah, that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
calm
Carry
and
on.
have a carry. Yeah, keep calm and
Yeah,
carry
I think
on. Yeah.
that is copyrighted.
It must be.
I think you can copyright anything, and I think that's where the red tape has been eliminated. You get me? So
The thing is,
you know,
you can copyright.
it sounds bad.
I
but
went on a course like 2 weeks ago. You can copyright anything, but it depends on what group. So if you copyright, let's say, Hakuna Matata, just specifically for like mugs, somebody else can use it for plates or for hair. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
So
that's why your words, like, you can
No, so
use it
specific
in
to
your
certain,
dialogue, but when it comes to printing it out on like merchandise, it's a no-no.
Disney are not the only people to have the copyright for this. There's about a dozen or so
Exactly.
people that have copyright for this in different countries.
What, for Hakuna Matata?
It depends on the
Chinese people
class.
have it. Yeah, different people have it for different things.
Yeah.
In different areas. So
But you know what?
like
At the end of the day, I think like we kind of got to hold ourselves responsible. Someone somewhere, like, you know, across Kenya, whatever Swahili spoken languages, when that came out, they should have went, you know what?
They just
I'm
retrieve
not
that.
gonna lie,
one.
they weren't thinking about money like that, because I think now everyone's on this. I'm trying to be entrepreneur. I'm trying to make money. So the Millie Rock thing, I think the next thing that's gonna be popping, they're gonna trademark it straight away.
Yep.
Back in the day, there wasn't anything like social media
this
where
is
you
why-
think like,
you know
raw,
what?
okay, this is gonna go viral, so let me just put a trademark on it real quick, so I can be getting money every single day when someone uses it.
But
Them times we didn't have
This
that.
is why I feel like, because a lot of what's mainstream is influenced obviously by black culture. This is why I feel like we should come together and start doing basically deception, right? And what I mean by that is, okay, so we can see that they clearly try and imitate a lot of our cultures, right? Let's put out a fake thing that we all, you know, pretend it's popping, but we know it's not. But we pretend it's popping, they all jump on it, we copyright it, we make money out of it, they jump on it, but we know we don't really care about it. Like, do you know what I mean? But that way we still make the money out of it and it comes back to
The
us.
problem that I've got with that is that
It's almost like
if
creating viral
yeah,
content.
I know what you
but-
mean, but then as soon as it goes viral, whether or not we would made a decision to say it's not popping, we will just automatically still keep it making popping, and we'll be like,
And
oh,
you
yeah, but
make
it's
money
all
there,
right,
But
though.
we're monetizing it though.
Yeah,
Making
but
money.
we
If you
will still-
created it.
Yeah, but we won't pretend like it's not. No, we'll make it popping because
We'll
we
make
want
it- and it will pop
we
like
want to
it.
be
Yeah.
in the popping.
But if we've already say right now, if we all say, okay, let's come up with a saying, right? Whatever the saying, you know, like that kid
Slag
Michael
for life.
Dapper, who was like the ting goes whatever.
Yeah.
And I loved how he monetized that. He done well. So we could recreate that and say, okay, the next whatever's gonna pop in London is gonna be like this, right? Think about whatever next big thing that goes viral. We all decide, okay, cool, this, blah, blah, blah. We create the content, we push out there, it goes viral, and then we monetize it, and then it comes back into the community. Do you know what I mean? But that is organisation.
JJ, are you wanting black people to get together and do something as a unified force? what kind of person are you, man?
I'm living in
Go look in the mirror, man.
it's wickedness is saying.
Thomas Sankara, bro.
How dare you even try?
An example of that, though. Example of that is that O'Shea guy. That day is different to your game. We pushed him to go viral, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he released the song, nobody backed it.
No,
but shall I
people,
tell you why?
people backed it.
People backed it, but
But they
not the same-
preferred
not
the
the same
original
level.
instrumental.
The original, the song
But because of
wasn't.
copyright reasons.
Yeah, but still, if you're gonna get the man to the point where he feels like he's getting there, innit?
Yeah.
And then suddenly
No,
now
I
it's
feel
time
that,
to
I
get
feel
there.
that.
Back him how? I played the song. I played the song now.
No, but basically, it's a thing where
But it's
like
still played in the clubs
people
and stuff.
liked the original instrumental over the, with the lyrics. But now he's made his
But
own.
You see
You
what
know?
the difference is? he got signed to a label. I can't remember which
Colombia?
label. Was it Colombia? Yeah. And you could see how the label controlled
They
to
cleaned
a
it.
certain extent. Yeah, his
but you couldn't-
imagery and made it more appealing. Whereas like that viral video that went was just him raw energy, like boom. If he would
I
have stayed
believed him when he said
independent,
that, yeah.
exactly. I felt that.
I felt that, yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I like the song he released.
It's still a good song. I still listen to it. I still heard it in the clubs and.
But
I still
exactly.
skank
Not that
with the
I go clubbing,
rap to
but,
that song on,
you know.
on the it is what it is, man.
All right. So I don't know what you're on about getting together. But my last thing that I have on the docket here about Africa and Africans, Pan-Africanism, and infiltrating Africa. So it goes back onto who's singing? JJ's on it, man. Congolese like singing. All
And
right.
they like long shoes. Keep going.
Let me.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, boy. Go on. It's my fat.
Let me read this story. All right. Uganda is adding compulsory Chinese lessons to its high school curriculum. All right. So Uganda's education ministry is planning to add Mandarin language lessons to its secondary school curriculum at 35 schools, with future plans to roll it out to more educational institutions as resources become available. They've taught 35 teachers over the last 9 months who are going to go into classes and teach it compulsory for 2 years of senior secondary school, but will make it optional thereafter, according to local reports. All right.
Okay.
So there is a bit more to it than that. In South Africa right now, they've been teaching Mandarin since 2014.
Okay.
And this is taught in 44 schools there.
Yeah. Keep teaching it.
When I just read the title that I got to you, I was like, it got my back up.
Yeah.
But then I thought, in this country, for the first 3 years, well, in my school anyways, it was German and English and French, and they taught you that. And then once you got to the 4th year, so I don't know what it is in for the youngsters, or what year 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but the last 2
choose.
years,
You
you got to choose, do you want to do French or English? French or German. But you had no choice. You had to choose one. And there's no issue with it here.
I don't see any problem with this particular thing because the fact that they are there. The Chinese are there.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I prefer them to know what these people are saying than them to not.
You took the words of my
We know
mouth.
in Uganda fully there's like buildings with Chinese writing on it.
In most of
And
where
there's
Africa.
it's
Yeah.
just
So for me,
normal.
if these lot are gonna be infiltrating the way that they are Africa, I want you to know what they're saying about you.
Yeah.
I want them to know what they're saying around you. I want them when you're having contract negotiations and they're writing in Mandarin or they're trying to do this, that, and the other, you can understand exactly what they're saying. So I have
That's
no problem with it.
100%, you know.
my problem is though
It is.
that in terms of languages, the power dynamics is different. So we don't even learn from our own language.
I was just about to
That's
say.
a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have
Here
no
we're
problem.
learning from English. I guess English is the main. But back in Uganda, they don't. They learn in English.
Yeah.
So
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, for real.
So it's like the hierarchy of languages says that African language aren't
So
important.
now it's going to be English first, Mandarin second.
Second, and
Right,
then whatever
and
they
then
speak in
I think it's
Uganda.
Buganda.
Maybe French after.
Right, exactly.
I have a big problem with them not teaching the native language in
Yeah.
African countries.
Yeah, of course.
And it should be basic. And
Because
they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, because we still speak English here. I mean, we still talk English here, and so I think it's the same. But I know in Nigeria you do get taught the different languages, though.
I don't think so.
No, in some schools you do. You do.
Yeah,
So how are people leaving school and they can't speak Yoruba?
Because
Or they
it's
can't
not-
speak Igbo.
Because not every school does it, but there are some schools that
Yeah,
do
but
teach
it's not common.
I don't know if it's compulsory.
In this country, you must
speak
do
English.
English.
Yeah,
English
you-
is
It's
a
not
fundamental
even-
lesson.
When,
Yeah,
when you got
it's-
300 different languages in one country, though, it's a bit difficult to say, well, you want to speak this language because then it'll be a beef thing. Well, why do I have to speak this one? Why can't I learn that one? But I know there's certain, if you go to certain like Yoruba schools, you speak Yoruba. You'd have to learn it and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's for me, I want them to know.
All right, but the thing is,
It's-
just before we continue on,
I was going to say because, like you're saying, English is the universal language, so it is taught and spoke everywhere. So when other countries and colonized say, you're going to learn this language, it's what it is. But with the Mandarin being taught, it's almost like back in the days when we were taken away from home, our language were taken away from us. It's almost like it's going to happen there. You won't be speaking your native tongue anyway. You will speak English, Mandarin, French, German, anything else, but your native tongue disappeared. You won't know it anymore.
That's the best way to erase somebody's history, to erase
Yeah,
their
to
language.
erase their language.
It's true.
It's the number one way.
I don't know. I just feel it like I feel the same way about it. Like what Hala's saying. It's like it's good. it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I feel like, okay, cool, you're protecting yourself with these contracts and with all these corporate things that might be going on in the country, but at the same time, why do you speak Chinese, not Chinese, why do you speak Mandarin and you don't even speak Yoruba? Yeah, I mean, or you don't, I don't know, like, I feel like, I don't know.
Even in this, let's look at it in this way. If we were to go to China to go and do a business deal, they wouldn't say to us, we were speaking English, or we'd have to speak their language. There's no way they're going to say, well, we're going to speak your language. We're going to start speaking Yoruba.
My thing is, though, if they want to do the Mandarin thing, that's cool, but are there Yoruba lessons as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. So if they're not taking that away, then okay, then it's still cool, because they're still learning their language. But if they're not learning that language at all in Nigeria or any other country, so let's say in Congo, Lingala, they're kind of like, they don't teach you Lingala. I mean, they don't have Lingala lessons. They're doing now Mandarin lessons. Like, what's going on here?
Your language should be taught at home. That's what they say. And it's not something that's compulsory.
Let me just continue reading a bit of the story. There has been a rising interest in the number of Chinese language schools across the world, including Africa. Since 2004, the number of Chinese government-funded Confucius institutions in Africa has jumped from 0 to 48. These schools focus on Chinese language and culture as part of the stated push to improve China's cultural influence with a focus on soft power.
In other words, it's coming to take over.
But
it's
basically what it is.
You're basically acclimatizing you to us. So when we're there, we're not alien to you.
I read this recently. The Americans have actually got into the. All right, I'm just coming off top, but America have had an issue with China, and they're having this kind of like debate in house with how can we go to Africa. And no, that's it. They're talking to the Africans and saying, listen, you need to get rid of these Chinese, or you need to stop allowing these Chinese to do this, or you need to stop doing stuff with Chinese, because they're trying to take over. So that's what the Americans now are telling
because that's what they do.
The African. Yeah, but they're only doing it because
they're trying to protect themselves.
Because that's what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, so now they're actually trying to, like, listen, you need to stop moving with them.
Why do you think Theresa May was there doing a stupid dance? Because now that they've got no European links, because I'm assuming the way that we was getting all the African stuff was through the European links that's still there. They now have to make links with Africa that they didn't necessarily have before.
Yeah, but that's slightly different, because
not really, because
no, that one makes sense. If I have okay, let's say we get our oil from some of our oil from wherever, somewhere in Nigeria. Yeah. And that was going to we had a connection with the European. Nigeria has a connection with Europe. We sell you this much, and you split it around amongst your countries. We are now leaving Europe. We have to go to Nigeria direct and say, here's our deal. Yeah, this is different. This is China is coming in and involving themselves into the party. Whoa. We had our own nice party here. Don't let these people join our party. Can you kick them out?
You know what? Fella would be twisting his grave because he all these babies.
So many of our leaders that they killed,
including him.
It would be for me. I'm with you. Remember a few months ago, we discussed that when I was sending my daughter to nursery, the best nursery in the area that she actually is in school now was a Mandarin French nursery. And my wife and I had to discuss were we going to send her there, and we said no. And I forgot what guest we had on, but it's like, why? Why would you not let her learn Mandarin and French? Because Mandarin, of all the languages in the world, is something that by the time she's an adult, is going to be really good for her to learn that.
Main language,
because she's going to need that. And French is French in it. So, and you just said it's the best nursery. So, what reason is there to not do it? And what did we say? I said I want her to know our culture before she learns somebody else's, especially at that young age. So even though, maybe I'm taking away from one aspect, I feel I'm giving her the more important one with the other hand, which is learning about yourself. So it's the same thing with this here now. I understand it's useful to understand Mandarin, just for they're coming here, like you said, the places now where they have Mandarin. No English, no native language. There's no native language, really. It's all in English. So yeah, it's going to be English and Mandarin all over the countries.
We got to think about it in terms of like technological advancements. Yeah, there's going to be apps and stuff and whatever that can do immediate translations. So we don't have to learn languages in the same way that we have to currently do at this at the present moment. So even there's one app, I can't remember what it's called, but if it translates directly whatever text is in front into the language you want it.
Yeah, Google Translate does that.
Yeah,
so, I love it.
Do you know what I mean? And there's audio earpieces and stuff I think a lot of the way the relationship we have with language is based on like the colonial powers of what we believe to be better or worse or whatever. So
you're saying with technology now, things is gonna make it easier for us. We don't have to conform so much.
Yeah, but then we become too reliant on technology, though.
Well, yeah, we already are, I guess, isn't it? Like, but
So the day that happens when technology dies or comes out, it's no longer working. We've still got to come back to.
What's this Matrix, bro? The day when technology dies.
Yes,
Can I
it's gonna happen.
Can I segue this technology to?
yeah, you
like to do just segue.
Exactly, man. Man is talking.
Sorry, I thought you had finished.
You can't overlap somebody and say, I thought you were finished.
You say, can we segue?
Sorry, go. Say what you said.
What if I said no? What happens then?
I wasn't asking you. Sit down there.
No, we were talking about the whole when technology dies. There's going to be a day that's going to happen. Okay. I believe that's going to happen.
You're a witch.
Yes, I am a witch.
Millennium bug.
Someone said that though.
Oh, remember that?
You get me? And what happened?
What you mean that we were supposed to die in 2000, innit?
No, all the computers are going to break down.
All the computers are going to break down.
Planes
Them RM computers as well.
They even did a movie
What
called
were you panicking about?
2012, innit? Like there was meant to be another end time.
2000.
Oh, that was the Mayan
calendar,
yeah.
Nonsense.
When's the next one?
Probably
Who
tomorrow.
knows, man? Who knows?
Tomorrow.
When they let the corridor have that event, that's what's
Okay, you shut
The ends. That's what it's called. The ends.
I'm going in it, so God forbid that thing. Don't be saying stuff like that.
The last festival of mankind.
exactly the ends.
Oh, you're going to that. You're going to
Yeah, I
that.
bought my ticket.
Which day are you going?
Whiskey.
Wait, how much are the tickets?
£50.
Nah, no, listen.
That's
I'm
decent.
sorry. Listen, yeah. Croydon is being gentrified. After that festival
it
marks
is.
the official gentrification
No,
of
because
Croydon.
basically Westfield is gonna be. There's gonna be a Westfield in South London as
That's
well.
it, man.
In
Really?
Croydon.
Oh,
Whenever there's a
Over.
Westfield, that's the
gone.
That's it.
defining
When
sign
mainstream
of
festivals
gentrification.
start
One
coming
at
to your
time, one
bits,
at
yeah,
time,
it's- when mainstream festivals start coming to your ends, you have to look twice because
Yeah.
the demographic is going to come with it.
That and
It's not going to
Foxtons.
be people from exactly.
That Foxtons and
Foxtons,
Westfields.
yeah.
And
And
coffee.
Starbucks or
Yeah,
Costa.
so yeah.
And Waitrose.
But this is not the first year that they've had that event, apparently.
No, but this is one
They've
they
had
did-
it before.
Yeah, but I don't think it
And you're from Croydon.
Actually,
Last
I think
year.
they did, but it was smaller. But now they're trying to do with.
A proper
I was thinking,
city.
what is Nas doing in South London? I was
No,
thinking, what's
Damian
going
Marley.
on? But clearly,
Listen,
Wizkid.
you know,
When it was
Have you
smaller,
seen-
was it called the Manor?
Have you been to a Wizkid concert?
I've seen him perform in my uni back in the day, but I've never been to his
Oh,
concert.
really?
Like Wizkid concert.
When Don Dog came out, he came to perform.
Oh, that's the beginning. Well, I went to the Wizkid concert where he did it in what's that place? Rabbit Hole. When I say I was screaming like a woman, bruv. I was. It was so wicked. Like it was so good. It was so good. So for Wizkid, I might go again.
That's
but
why I'm going because I know now he has a catalogue of songs. He has more songs now, so I want to see.
he
him
was
perform
on
it.
there for about an hour and a half, and it was hit after hit.
He has bangers.
after hit
Yeah, no, he's
after
an
hit
incredible
after.
artist,
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If Wizkid was American, he would be the biggest artist in the world. Without a shadow of a doubt, for me,
True.
he'll be bigger than Chris Brown. He'll be as big as he will be the biggest artist in the world. That's my personal opinion.
See if people know this song.
But yeah, can I segue now?
Yeah, go.
No, you
Alright.
cannot.
I want to segue because
you ask that question again.
we're talking about technologies, and JJ Bola is quite active on Twitter.
I feel like we should segue back.
JJ quite active.
What do you call segue back? Is that reverse?
Reversal?
Boomerang.
Reversal.
He's quite active on Twitter, and he's got quite a big following on Twitter. He's actually now verified. You got the tick.
Yeah,
Not on Twitter though.
Oh, you're verified on Insta.
On Insta.
I don't know.
and
I
Facebook.
don't know.
If any
which one is-
Twitter
I don't know
officials
what
are
that-
listening,
Okay.
please make
No,
this
they
man
don't love
verified.
me.
I beg.
Verify him there on the Twitter for us,
Streets.
please.
Forget him, man. Verify us.
Verify, mate. But
I'll bring you lot in if I get verified.
Yeah, you see it there. You see it there. Connection.
Brotherhood.
Africans.
The brotherhood.
But on Twitter, he was tweeting the other day, and you tweet, he's a poet and he's tall and all them things. So he's always doing sweet boy on the timeline, isn't he? He's always doing sweet boy. Like JJ Bola is the type of man that will tweet hello, good morning, and bare people will be, oh my god, JJ.
Yeah, but don't you remember when Twitter was like that? Like, but there's a nice time, man. You know what I mean?
I just got my 9-year Twitter thing. He said, "You've been on Twitter for 9 years." Bro, I don't ever remember when it's like that because nobody follows me. Nobody talks to me like they talk to you.
You could be like, "Oh, good morning, everyone." People will be like, "Yeah, good morning. Hope you have a good day."
No, JJ, only you get that.
Sweet one.
No,
Sweet one.
Only JJ gets that type of love.
It was positive.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that, but you wrote the other day that 2019 is his year. Yeah,
Is he here for what, bro?
He's looking for love in 2019.
I don't know if I use those words.
Wait, he said he said you're looking for.
Can I ask you my song? I need love.
LL Cool J style. Is it even LL? Look at him. LL JJ.
I don't know if I'm
JJ Cool
endorsing
J.
this. Well, we can continue.
So so you wrote that on the timeline, and I was.
I don't know if I wrote I need love. Like,
no, not need love, but you said you're looking for something more, maybe a relationship in 2019, something because you've had a good
I think
year.
I was like 2019. I'm ready to be out the game.
Yeah,
kind
at the
of
game
thing,
type
like,
thing.
Yeah.
So
not that I'm in the game, but I want to be at the game.
We know you're not in the game, JJ. We know you're not in the game. But
Covering all the tracks.
but because I don't think that women think that men think like this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So this is the discussion I want to have. So as there's men here, and there's obviously CynTea who can obviously speak from the women's side because that's what you're gonna do, right? Do you not
All women
as well, white, Jew, Catholic, whoever it is, you're talking for all of them.
Jew and
Every
Catholic.
single
Talking for all of them.
woman.
Every single woman that
demographic
walks
of
the earth, you're talking for them today.
What did you say? Every demon?
No, that's every
Wow, you better retract what you said.
Spiritual demon.
I said what?
I said every demographic.
Okay,
Demon, you know,
so you
wow.
better retract what you said.
He wants us to get the beef, boy. But so yeah, because I think every time in a man's life, we just get to that point where we just like, you know what, it's enough.
Yeah, man.
It's enough. And that's when we decide we want to get married, or we want to decide we want to at least settle down with a woman. Mm-hmm. I think women are a bit different. I think women are just, from the beginning they're looking to be settled, they'll be settled. But men have this thing where they say, you know what, I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. Either I'm not financially able to settle down, because that's how men look at things.
Yep.
Like, even if I meet the girl of my dreams now, if I do not have the money that I think I should have when I meet the girl of my dreams, I will not marry that girl.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Talk the thing, my friend.
Yeah, because he's taking.
When you guys were younger, did you guys ever think like, okay, when I'm 25, I want to be married?
No.
Because us girls, that's what we like. I can only speak for myself.
Do us girls
You
talk
like
on the
have
mic
a
as well?
little picture board like thing, like a scrapbook on.
No.
No. It wasn't that deep. I just said to myself, when I'm 25, I want to get married, have two kids.
Did you think about what kind of wedding you want to have though?
Yeah, it was all planned out.
Have you picked out the dress already?
I feel like, okay, which one did you think more of first, the wedding or the marriage?
The Nigerian one, the traditional.
The wedding.
wedding.
See, this is what I think. Women think about the wedding and then it segues into the marriage as secondary. Do you know what I mean? But the principal thing is, I'm going to have this kind of wedding. But obviously you can't have a wedding, like you can't have a marriage without a wedding, like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's the idea of what the wedding will be that kind of like brings you to think about being married, whereas we ain't thinking about men, and we are not thinking about.
Yeah, we're not thinking
wedding.
about. I think when I was younger, I wanted to get married. I don't know what age though, but I did want to get married.
Like for me, I was thinking about, okay, I want to get married. Obviously thinking about how the wedding's going to be like, but I just like the idea of love from a young age. So for me, it wasn't a thing like I was just focusing on just the marriage itself. I just like the whole, just thinking about having this picture of me, my husband, and my kids. Do you understand? So I was thinking about the love aspect as well. So don't think I was just thinking about just, getting sprayed with money on the dance floor. It wasn't just that.
Do you think most women are like you then?
Maybe not. Nah, not everybody.
All right, so ask your question then, Wyla.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether or not, because as I said, it's almost linking to what CynTea's talking about now. I don't think that women think that we think like that. Like we think about getting settled down or getting married or getting like that. So to the man then, do you feel, was there a time that you said to yourselves, you know what, I just want to be in a relationship now, and then found somebody to be in a relationship?
Did you have
with?
like that epiphany at some point?
Yes.
Speak more than that. How more than that, brother?
How old were you? If you don't mind me asking.
How old was I? I was young, I was about 23.
What? Actually, nowadays that would it's very rare to see a 23-year-old
you'll be surprised.
I was about 23, and there was a lot in my group that were similar to that. You know what I mean? I've been best man twice.
So much popular.
Yeah, and both of them, are still married, and they married young. You get me? So there was a time when I felt, you know what, it's time to settle down. I need to stop being a player. I need to find a woman. Joe. That's what I'm saying. Joe's songs were ringing. Joe's songs were ringing. I was singing "Good Girls." You get me? All the good girls. I thought there were no good girls until
Two sweet boys there.
You get me?
Come on, 90s R&B, man.
And until I met my my kid's mum, and cut a long story short, we had 2 kids and we're not together no more. But you know, that's life.
Yeah.
But
Beef
you know,
like that.
I think that in hindsight, looking back, it was too early for me. Standard no long thing.
See, I've like in my social groups as well, and
but that's
myself,
just me
like,
personally.
Yeah.
that age, like, is already thinking about it. In fact, yeah, I'd say for me, it's more natural. Like being a player, seeing multiple people, whatever, dating, is long. Like that's less natural to me than being in a relationship. I'm
it's like
either
you're speaking
on my
for
own
me, you know.
or in a relationship. Like I can't date multiple people. I don't like people. Like I don't actually. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually don't
sound like
like
these two
people.
guys,
Like, do you know how mad dating is?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
Imagine.
Dating is fun. I don't get you people, man.
I do
dating
like
is
people,
not
but
fun.
I get what you're saying. Like the whole procedure of falling in love is long. To be doing that with Tom, Dick, Harry, Jermaine, it's long.
Where's Kunle?
No, Kunle. Oh, yes, sorry. But it's just long to be doing it over and over again.
I don't know
get
for
it.
you people, man. Dating was long. Doctor, did you have a time when you decided you want to settle down, Mr. Mumra? Was it like 100 years ago?
Mumra, you know. Those that don't know.
Put some respect
Google
on his name,
Mumra,
man. Shit.
No,
There's never been a time that you wanted to settle down.
He was the international man.
I don't think so. No,
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. See? So
So you're just winging it.
I had my moments where I'd think, no, actually, no.
Yeah, maybe you've been with somebody and you thought, oh, maybe this is the one, but never, you didn't decide, oh, I want to be with somebody.
I didn't have a calendar. I didn't have a set day. I didn't have a dress picked out or anything like that. I didn't have, none of that.
What do you mean you didn't have a dress picked out?
Yeah, no,
Every man has a dress picked out.
I ain't got no dress, bro. I got no dress. No, it wasn't in my mind's eye. I think with what Wahala said, if it was to be, I'd wait till I'll be financially stable to do something like that. So, given my current financial status, that ain't gonna happen.
It's like my guys. They were young. They were in the region of 24-ish, 23.
Who's that?
The 2 guys that I was best man to.
Okay.
You know, one Ghanaian brother, one Nigerian guy, and I felt that at the time of their life, they were ready. You get me? You could just see it financially. They had everything on point. You know, they knew what they had their plan and they marked it out. They followed it. They were seeking a woman. They found what they wanted and they got what they wanted.
They wanted the woman before they found a woman.
Yes, they were looking for a relation to settle down,
but this is what I'm
have
saying.
a family and have kids.
You
and
said that
get married.
you said they were settling in their other areas of their life, and that allowed them.
That's what I'm saying.
So now that was
That's what I'm
the last piece of the puzzle, almost in a way.
But can I say something though? Like, what's wrong with trying to secure the bag with somebody?
There's
on
nothing
your
wrong with
side?
it.
Because a lot of men are saying stuff like, "Oh, I need to be financially stable" and stuff. But don't you think we're not financially stable
Yeah,
either, but we can do this together.
The burden kind of falls on the man.
just-
more.
No, hold on. Why are you snapping at me like that?
I'm
for?
brushed her off. Shut up.
It's not a sensible question.
The reason why, because you have to think of it
Answer
like
it.
this: men, they've been,
She knows the answer to the question already.
But maybe the listeners don't.
men have been conditioned
I don't.
from the beginning of time. Yeah, men have been conditioned from the beginning of time to tell you that you need to look after your woman, look after your
I
woman,
hear
have
that.
money,
I hear
have
that.
money, look after your woman, have money, go to work,
Look after
provide
your
for your
family.
family, provide for your family. So then that's what you're seeing in your head. So the same way that women have always been told, stay at home, look after the house, look after the children, stay at home, look after the house,
This,
look
that,
after the children.
whatever.
Men have always been said, go outside, provide. If it's not to make money, it's go and kill a goat. Is it going to do this? So that's in the end, that's what we know, innit? So what we think in our head is like, boy, until I'm financially stable, you know, I got the money that I can even get the girl. Because most times they don't even think they can get the girl until they have that money.
Yeah.
So they're like, boy, no girl's gonna come and talk to me if I'm got nothing. If I tell them I got £5 in my account and that's all I've got for the week, what woman's gonna talk to me?
I'll tell you what though, just a quick story. One of my boys, God bless you, man. One of my
Never a
boys.
quick story.
Listen, one of his kind of go-to chat-up lines was to give the deception that he had nothing and then to see their reaction. You know, we will have a conversation. We may be in a group and then he may earmark a lady that he likes and then we'll start conversating.
It's not me you're talking about, is it?
No, it's not you. But God bless you anyway. But he would say, yeah, you know, if we go out on a date, I'll have to, you know, top up my Oyster card because I haven't got a car, I haven't got this, I haven't got that, you know, and then just to see the type of reaction from the woman. So, you know, in that sense, yes, we do like to give the impression, or we want to feel like we have everything, but sometimes we play our little games, man.
All right.
No, but he's got it though.
But yeah, so
that's
there's
a different
certain
thing.
confidence is what I think. A lot of it is like certain confidence that you get from knowing you have money and pretend, and from actually being broke.
Yeah,
Like,
two
do you know what I mean?
different
It's two different. Unless
I
you're an
think it's
incredible
frantic.
actor. Like for me, I know times where I've been broke. Like where I know
Two
if we
words,
go
boy.
Nando's, I've calculated the exact amount for a meal for two. Don't buy alcohol, please, please.
No
Oh
wine,
shit,
my
it's
friend.
gone over. Like I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you in those times you can't act that out. You can't that pretense. You can see right through it, you know. So I think a lot of it, especially in terms of dating stuff, it's a confidence thing.
You have to Michael Modern the thing, innit?
Would we want our daughters to? Sorry, would we want our daughters to
Or
be
serial date.
No, to
That's a good question, though.
To be with someone who has nothing.
You know what the way I look at it? I look at work ethic.
When
'Cause
you
it's
are-
not
when
so
you say-
much nothing.
When you say nothing, what do you mean? Do you mean financially nothing, or no prospects in life, no vision, no direction?
I can even answer
yeah.
that question as a woman.
Please.
Can you answer on the microphone, though?
Sorry. So, my dad will not want me to be with somebody who hasn't got anything going for themselves. That's
different from having nothing, though.
Yeah, finish. Go on.
That's standard. Like, even I can give you an example of the Bryson Tiller thing. He was working in Papa John's, and I think he got a girl pregnant. Family didn't want to know. He blew. Family wants to know. So it's like, yeah, don't literally, literally. But yeah, it goes to show that, you know, they do want you to be with somebody who's got something going for himself. The thing is, the Papa John's thing is something going for himself, but it's not. It doesn't seem prestige. It's not accountant.
status,
It's not
it's not
doctor.
status,
You know what I mean? Apparently, the bag is not there.
But there's many people that have nothing that's going to medical school. And that's one of the big reasons they got nothing. So you could go to them, they have no car, they have no money, they have nothing.
That's ambition,
But
isn't
they go to medical school. So it depends on what you mean by nothing. Are you telling me that they are useless? Because I don't want my
That's what you
daughter to
call-
go with a useless.
That's what you call potential
But yeah,
earning
potential.
value.
If
innit?
you said to me, if my daughter said to me, oh, voila, I've met this boy and he's on road doing bits,
Your daughter
I'll be
call
like,
you
are you
a
mad? Like, are you
Define
mad? Like,
bits.
what bits is he
exactly?
doing?
Exactly. Which one is the bits?
He's been on roads delivering letters.
Yeah, doing bits. Which letters is he delivering? Which bits? But if you said to me, you know what, Dad, I've met a guy. He hasn't got much money. He's not from a rich family. I'd really be like, eh. So then, you know, he's looking to get into doing this, or he's looking to get into doing that. And me, I like him a lot. He seems to treat me really well. The only thing I'll say that if she's saying to me that she's paying for everything, I'll have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to
Blatantly have
say
a problem
that.
with that.
Yeah, me
No,
too.
I'll blatantly have a problem with that. But if she's saying, you know, at the moment he's going through a bit of a hard time.
Denzel.
If she's saying that he's going through a bit of a hard time and, you know, stuff like that, but I see potential in this guy and I sat down with him and I saw the potential in him as well, then I'll be fine. But he needs to show me and prove to me that he's valuable enough to be in my family and deal with my daughter.
But the paying for everything thing, yeah, I think like there's a way to navigate that. Like a lot of people don't live within their means, and so like if it's just you can go and get a pizza for £6, right? Like that's living within your means. If the woman's paying for everything, like for me, I have pride. Like, do you know what I mean? In terms of like male pride and whatever, if you want to talk about toxic masculinity, paying for everything, whatever, I don't necessarily have to say that I'm going to pay for everything, but I have pride. If I'm paying, if I can't afford it, then I'm not going to go. I can't take you to Shard on like every week. That's madness. But if I'm going to take you within, if my budget's £10, my budget's £10. I'm paying more £10. I'm paying for you. This whole £10, I'm paying for you. Do you know what I mean? If my budget is £6, this £6 I've worked hard is for you and no one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I will make sure I live within my means. I can't. For me, I don't feel comfortable, and I wouldn't feel comfortable for, you know, my future daughter being with a guy who lets her pay for everything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even negotiate that
That
back
doesn't try.
somehow.
Yeah.
I feel
do you
like
know
it's,
what I mean?
it's
Like,
give and take. So she should, of course, pay sometimes, and so should he. But I know you guys are gonna say he should pay more because
He
he's
should
the
pay
provider.
everything.
I hear that, but the thing is, that leads me to my next question to you. Yeah, I'm moving like this is my podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, do you mind if your woman treats you and like pays?
No, I do mind.
oh,
You mind?
Yeah.
I don't
Why?
mind.
But sometimes she's like,
Because
you could be like, oh, I just want to take my baby
Okay,
out.
but let me
you
say
know?
something to you.
You're
Yeah?
asking this question. You've heard the podcast.
No, let me-
You've heard
No,
it.
I don't think anybody has asked
Alright,
him
so
this
Sid,
particular
alright.
question. It's always been family dinners and stuff, but
so
not
Sid,
this.
Let me tell you something, yeah? if you're taking me out because you want to do something nice for me, and you know that I don't find that nice, who are you doing it for?
What do you mean you don't find that nice?
You don't like jollof? What if we got
I do not like people taking me out and paying for things for me. I don't like it. So if you're doing it,
just in general,
yeah, in general. So if you're doing it, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for me.
What do you like?
The
bro?
same way that I don't like surprise parties, because if I wanted a party, I would have one. Right?
That's true. I can't stand surprise parties.
If you're saying to me that you want to treat me, the best way to treat me is to leave me to do what I want to do. That's my best way to treat me.
What do you want to do?
Nothing.
That's what I'm asking. What do you like?
Oh, you know what? You
must
what?
like
This is going to segue. This is going to segue into something I want to talk about, because you went out last night to a party.
Yeah,
and
relax a freak.
Yeah, and I can't be dealing with parties, man. So it's
He was
long.
going to segue. I think
No, because we just run out of time. So segue.
I was long, so I don't want to do stuff like that anymore. That's not the type of stuff. But recently, as a family, we've been going out to different types of places. So last couple of weeks, we went to is it ping pong?
Oh yeah.
So it's like a table tennis place. So I went there and I really enjoyed that. And then the other day,
ping pong's
Chinese, whatever. We went to the table tennis place, right? And I really enjoyed that as a family thing. And the other day we went to trampolining, and I enjoyed that. So there's stuff that I'm now starting to enjoy that's outside of the raving scene. So I don't mind if she texts me or asks, "Do you want to go to that type of thing?" But why do you have to pay for me if I don't like it? I don't get it. What does it do for you to pay for me?
What if she says, let's go trampolining, and when you get before she gets there, she already booked the tickets? Is that cool?
Then I'll pay her back.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Tim, I want to get to the point. If he's giving you a reason that he doesn't like being treated, that is not his idea of being treated. You want to treat. I'm assuming you're doing this because you want to be nice to your husband, or are you doing it just because you want to pay for something?
To be nice to him, innit?
So if he doesn't like it, why is it you're trying to find different angles to do something he doesn't like?
Of course, I get what you're trying to say.
I know. I'm asking you a question. I'm not trying to say anything.
I feel like you lot are discouraging her from paying. You know,
No,
she can pay for your guys, right? You know,
she will find a man.
I probably won't be with someone who wouldn't
Like that,
mind getting treated anyways. But I just want to understand where his head is at when it comes
I
to
personally
this.
think it's weird.
Does that?
I think it's a tiny bit weird.
But do you understand?
But I understand it, and of course, I'm sure your wife, treats you. She speaks your love language, or she understands you in it.
What is your love language?
In a way, what? I don't have long. I don't know what this love language is.
Love language.
it's interesting, you know.
You're such a bushman, you know. There's five love languages.
No, there's four, I think.
Five.
It's five.
Five. Okay,
Go
there's gift, words of affirmation,
Physical touch.
physical touch,
Okay, physical touch.
acts of service, and quality time. Yeah, there's five.
Yeah, that's
All right,
it.
so it's physical touch, and it's not even this thing either.
Not quality time.
Yeah, okay, that's more hers than mine.
All right. Okay.
Oh, no, you
Can I ask you though?
No, I'm here. Just enjoy
I'm
it.
not saying I don't enjoy enjoy spending time with her, but you're asking me which one of the ones is the most. I'll say it's the
because you have a primary and you've got a secondary.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I've got three that are all the same.
Yeah, I've got three as well. Thinking about it,
You've done it.
my main one is quality time.
Uh-huh.
Then the second one is touch. I think it's between acts of service and words of affirmation.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like,
There is an actual quiz that you can do online,
Yeah.
which will tell you exactly what it is.
yeah.
But I
I'll
want.
find out JJ's one before you continue.
Okay, go on.
Oh,
You're free.
I think gifts. I remember gifts being that gifts, touch, gifts, touch, and quality time. I think, but definitely gifts and touch was the top two.
Look at this man.
And that when you say it's my
Give
love
me
language, that's
money.
how you want to receive love, right? That's not how you should be giving love to your partner. That's how you want
that's
to.
what it is.
Because some
You
people
receive,
get it. Because I kept on saying it wrong. So I would ask someone, "What's your love language?" I would say that, and I'm like, oh, "Okay, so that's what you give." They said, "No, that's what I like to receive."
Yeah.
So some people get it a bit
So
wrong.
I like the touch thing.
Just to touch quickly on gifts that you don't like here, or kind of acts of service that you don't like. Yeah. If your missus was to buy you tickets to the Champions League final,
Yeah.
would you have a problem with that?
Would I have a problem with it?
Yeah, because she's spending
Is that a
her
present?
money.
If it's a present, I don't have a problem with presents.
Okay.
But I have a problem-
So you don't mind gifts?
No, if it's my birthday and you buy me a gift, I don't have a problem with that.
No, forget about your birthday.
Well, just give
your
something for no
birthday is
reason.
not in May, is it?
Just be like you've been.
It's a gift for no reason.
you've been-
Why would you
knows
buy
what
me a
you
gift
like.
for no reason?
Whoa.
She knows that you like football. She knows that you like your team, and she's saying, "Listen, what you say?"
Has she asked me first before she's giving me this gift, or she just went and gone and bought it?
You know, they're in
It's
the
a
final.
gift. You
innit?
don't consult the celebrant for the gift. You just buy the gift.
You're in the final, innit?
I'm a
and you're
control
off
freak.
that weekend. And she said, come.
I would prefer her to ask me.
Too many variables for him, man.
No, Allah. In fact, Allah.
I don't get what the
My
force
friend,
is. man.
continue.
It's a force. Do we have to force the issue on
No,
people,
we're just
man?
asking questions, man.
No, because
That's how I like to be touched.
She doesn't.
I like backstroking.
And backhand slaps, yeah?
No.
so we're gonna talk on this. What's the comedian? Chris Rock.
I see it's from him that I saw it.
Wow.
It's from JJ that I saw it.
got me.
I have no idea what has
angry.
happened. So
Okay, all right, play.
All right, and listen to this, and hopefully you can maybe you can see it too.
He's the blackest white guy I fucking know. And in all the negative things we think about black people, this fucker.
You're saying I'm a nigger.
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever. Amazing.
I don't think he could do that.
Oh,
What?
I don't think he has those
there's
qualities.
only two. I mean,
That I'm
no,
not-
you don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him. Like I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about.
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
We
use
say
that
nigger on stage.
on stage.
You guys don't. That's an
Yeah, that's the
interesting two
difference.
teams
That's
here.
the difference between
That's right.
What she
That's
said.
right. We say
can pair
nigger on
up in
stage. You
different
guys
ways,
don't.
but that's definitely a pairing. Who
We
says
say-
nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
You and me say
No,
nigger
I'm
in
not.
private.
No.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private
I'm
much.
giving it up just because it's played.
I don't believe it's. I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life.
No,
I don't
never.
think. No. Yeah, that's it. That's the huge difference between you and me. I think.
Well,
That's what I've said
you
it.
found the humor of it.
Yeah.
I haven't found it.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
And that was Seinfeld.
That's the dub plate right there. That ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the dub plate right there.
Name
Let-
the five.
Let me explain the thing quickly for those that haven't seen the video. All right, this is a HBO program called Just Laughing or Just. It had four comedians,
The biggest.
four of the
Or
biggest
some
comedians.
massive ones.
Yeah, 2011, 2012 HBO program, and it was Jerry Seinfeld. Is it Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K.
Who has been cancelled since then, but and come back. What's the British one?
Ricky
Gervais.
motherfucking Gervais.
Ricky Gervais and our brother.
Chris Coon Rock.
Is he our ex-brother? I don't know what if you
You guys
cancel
still
people.
like
Chris Rock. Anyway, so Chris Rock is talking to Louis C.K.
When
and
was this?
It's 2000.
2012.
Yeah, I haven't seen it before. Yeah.
I know you said it, but I can't believe
I
it
know
was
because-
back then.
That was the year that.
Why is it only now that?
Yeah,
that
why
I'm
is it
hearing
only
this?
coming out now?
But the thing about Louis C.K. is this is what big thing about Louis C.K. that he says the word on stage. That was the biggest thing about him.
Okay, can I finish? So
Yes.
you heard what it says. Chris Rock said that he was talking about Louis C.K. when he said this is the blackest white man I know. Louis C.K. was quite happy to throw the N-word out there, and then
You have to be. What he actually said is he has the worst attributes of black people. And then he called himself the N word.
yeah,
But
which,
anyway, keep going.
yeah, which goes into Chris Rock's joke. So in that sense, he gets a pass because that's Chris Rock's joke that he's playing off.
Yeah, Chris has enabled it, and
So-
that's why for me,
Twice.
like his whole
He should have
friendship.
shut it down.
That's why for me, it's all on Chris Rock. Like, how
100%.
can you be as a black? I don't know how you honestly you have to be built different, cut from a different cloth.
Let-
How
have to be
can you
American.
be comfortable?
You have to be American.
Let me finish.
Nah,
let me finish
sorry.
the last bit. Well, so Ricky Gervais then said, whoa. How can you say the N word? And without, I don't think he didn't realize
He knew.
that
He was saying it.
No. Yes, he did.
He knew.
He knew exactly what the fuck he was saying.
You thinking that he was just
Yeah, absolutely.
He knew
So
exactly
you think
what he was
the
saying.
door's open now? I can say it.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what
The
happened.
black man in the room has said, "Don't
Yeah,
say it."
because he basically gave him the go ahead without saying it. He said, we've worked together. What the fuck does that even mean?
No, let me say what make it
What
worse.
does that
yeah?
even mean?
Let me say what made it worse. When he said it, it was then Jerry Seinfeld that had to bring him back and say, "Oh, so now you're saying it now. Oh, so you're saying," and then he was like, he knew what he was doing.
Okay, and then towards the at the end, you heard Jerry Seinfeld say, "Well, you guys have found the comedy in the word. I haven't found it."
Neither do I seek it.
Nor do I seek it. Yeah, so he did
So he shut it down instead of the black man, basically.
Yes. But the black man enabled it basically because apparently not only does Louis C.K. say it on stage, Louis C.K. and Chris Rock, who have toured together, who have worked together, say it to them within
To each other.
Yeah, to each other
just-
in their private quarters.
And the way he said it to Ricky Gervais is like him and Gervais been saying it too.
But I don't.
but did you
I don't-
not see him laugh when
that
he
was-
said you
that
say
was
in
a joke.
private?
I think that was a joke. I think that was a joke.
Can I ask
But
why
the way
this
he
is-
laughed.
Yeah, I think that was just a joke.
Why is this coming up now?
They say it.
This come up now. Somebody posted it on Twitter, and then
That's what people do.
I guess some popular person saw it and said, "Oh my days," and then another popular person said it, so "Oh my days," and then everybody saw it. And I just want to thank the internet because whichever particular
Undefeated,
tweet
right?
you sent me, the comments underneath that, the myths, the memes and the gifs, all the tap dancing. There are so many tap dancing gifs. I was crying in my bed watching that. So, anyways,
It's a strange thing that he's now taken the moniker of the guy in the joke where he says when the man walks past him and he tap dances for him. Like, so, are you right, Chappie? Are you right, Johnny? Remember when Chris Rock did that joke?
Chris Rock had that joke where he was in a job and he's trying, he's trying to appease the white people there, and he's literally tap dancing when the white person.
And then when they
comes.
leave him, call him a cracker, yeah, cracker ass cracker, blah 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 blah. That's exactly how you look like there.
So what do you think of this? We've had this discussion a few weeks ago. We had the meet on and we discussed in depth the N-word and why we don't use it and why a couple of them, not all of them, because they got a bit of backlash. It was a couple of them said that they use it, and one of them said
2 out of 5
that they would be happy even for their
didn't
whites.
say happy.
Well, he said he would allow his whites. Then you're happy for it.
No, that's not. What
No, I
he
wouldn't.
said,
I
man.
wouldn't say use the word happy.
What did he say?
He said
He would just what? I'm stuttering. I think it's what.
You're close to me. It's okay. I understand.
he said
This is the effect I have.
He said basically, if his white friend said it, he wouldn't necessarily go at him.
I don't think he was that bothered about it.
He would. Then you're happy to.
Happy. I wouldn't say happy.
He wouldn't spud him over
It's just
it,
that
but
I
he
feel-
would just accept it. He wouldn't,
Yeah, I feel like
he's not punching
pull
him
him
in
up
the
on
face.
it.
You even no. I think there's certain times
you
where
know
you're in the one category or the other. There's no middle ground. So if you're saying that my boy, he's come up with me, he's grew up in the hood, he hangs around all of us, he knows all of us. I don't think there's a racist bone in his body. And if he says the N-word in the context that I think is cool as well, then you can't say, well, I'm just like, you're happy for him to do that.
I see. What
Otherwise, you
mean.
wouldn't let him do
I
that.
see what you mean, but you know how people say that they've taken the word back and it's now something else, and they don't see it as a degrading word. I think in that sense, he's just trying to say, like, look, if someone else used it, it doesn't bother me, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not happy with
Accepting
it.
something
But,
doesn't
okay,
mean
I don't
you're
agree with
happy.
what he's saying, but I don't
Rather
think
than-
he was happy with it.
Okay, then. Rather than playing those semantics, we have this topic here. It's been brought up. It's 6-7 years old, but it's been brought up now. I think JJ seems to be quite. He's just there with his arms crossed. His body language has changed, so I'll let him start it off, and this will probably be the last topic before we get there.
Yeah, for me, I just can't allow it. I just can't allow it. There's not a bone in my body that allows me to be comfortable around white people saying the N-word. Like at me, throwing it around, whatever, even in the song. Like I've been to concerts and stuff, yeah, and then like you hear it sung out loud and stuff. That's why certain shows I don't go to.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's a majority white audience, when that part of the song comes and it's still being sung, and you're one of the few black people in
It's a beef
the
thing.
crowd, it's like you're looking at people around you like, I dare one of you to try and, do you know what I mean? Like, so to see Chris Rock like that, especially, I haven't seen this. I didn't realize it was that old. I literally thought it was recently. And so to see him put in that position, someone who's supposed to be, quite socio-politically aware, especially about race and stuff, is just, I just feel sick.
The boy them coming for you, Gross. The boy them coming for you.
Honestly, I just want to slap him up. Like, want to slap him up. Do you know what I mean?
It disappointed me.
Yeah.
It's
It
really
disappointed
sad to
me.
see.
You expect better from him.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all.
I don't know.
I feel like the guy was so comfortable after he said, "Oh, we've worked together." He said it again.
I don't think that Chris Rock was comfortable because the way he kept picking up that drink and sipping every time. So
The thing-
I think
There's a fake
I think
comfort.
he let. Once it happened once, because you saw that he actually stopped. He stopped.
I didn't
and then-
say Chris Rock was comfortable. I said he made the other guy feel comfortable.
yes,
Carry
you're
on.
right.
No, I don't even
But
think that was
Chris-
the case. So you say what you're saying.
I think Chris Rock. You know that moment. You know you messed up, right? You know you messed up, right?
yeah.
I think that happened. I think he let it slide for a second too long,
The first
and then he
slip.
realized. I can't. For me to
Got-
backtrack now,
yeah,
it'll be
it
too
got
late.
out of hand.
And then, unfortunately, because he had opened the door, then it's like,
Oh,
no,
no,
it's a Negro fest now. Let's start the weather.
Louis C.K. took
You
that.
have a Negro. You have a Negro.
Louis C.K. took that opportunity to do shock.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he thought because the way that he worded it, he didn't use the N word. Chris Rock, when he was talking to him, he didn't use that word. He just said he's got the worst attributes of a black person. He
Yeah.
didn't use the N word.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. used the N word, and exactly what you said, Stav. I think he said it. It was like too long. If you don't just say it, the next person will say, "Are you mad? Don't ever say that in front of me again." But you can't really do that on HBO TV because now you're gonna look like that angry black person. So maybe he just said, "You know what? We probably do say it in the back, and maybe I'll just leave it now and see how it goes." But Louis C.K. did it on purpose to make everybody in that room feel uncomfortable. He did it.
Yeah, but Chris Rock's been enabling that for years.
I don't think he did it.
I
just think he doesn't. I think the shock thing I'll accept, and I think another part is I don't actually care. I don't think he went out of his way to make everybody. You always take it to one like deep. It's like
Nah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but that's my point. That's why I said the shock. I think he's a comedian, and I think he plays off shock. I haven't seen a lot of his comedy,
but it is about his comedy is about making the people feel uncomfortable with what you're saying, and then people are like, "Go on, can we say this? Can that's the type of thing he does." So it's like he made the room. Definitely, because Seinfeld was uncomfortable with that conversation.
Seinfeld, as soon as it was said, he was looking around like, "Is this? Are you
lot mad?
Is this what we're doing now?" And then at the end,
moving mad is what he said in his head.
Can I say something? Like on Thursday, I was on the tube going back home from Stratford. There was a white guy, two white guys, one black guy. They were talking amongst each other, and the white guy said the N-word, right? And then the black guy was like, "Wow," or something like that. He was like something. He didn't actually say you can't say that, but he gave him the look. And then the other white guy didn't say nothing. Then he said, "What? I said it."
Hey,
my sister didn't hear him because my sister's on one. I heard it, but my sister was talking to me at the same time. But I was thinking, hold on, I don't know these guys, but should I? And then my sister, they came off the train. Now I told my sister what happened. She said, "He's lucky I didn't fucking hear because my sister would have gone off."
Listen, I would have taken the book for him.
But the way he said it, like, I said it.
Were they all friends?
No, I don't know them. They were standing next.
No, were they all friends? Like,
yes. So he gave him the look like you can't say that, but he did still say it, and it was like, I said it, and what?
Let me tell you something. There was one time I was in the office.
That's not
so do you understand what I mean when people, they know what they're doing? This is not, I accidentally said nigga, like sorry, I even said it now, but sorry, I apologize for that. Even with the Kendrick Lamar situation with the girl on the stage, he gave her the opportunity to, not say it again, and she did it again.
Because she says it at home. This is the thing now. So I was at work one time, and one girl that I work with was... We were actually talking about the Jay-Z Beyonce show.
Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
And they let's random out there. Let's dash out there. And
enjoy your talkie.
We was talking about the Jay-Z Beyonce show. She was like, "Oh, I love the Jay-Z and Kanye song." And then another girl was like, "What song are you on about?" And then she just said N-word in Paris. I just said, you will never, I basically just said, you will never ever in your life ever think that you could ever say that word in front of me and it's ever okay. Never ever say that word again. And she just was like, okay. Now, the thing that made me laugh is the other white girl that she was saying it to, when she said it, just looked at her like,
did you just say that?
Did you just say that? Like, but the girl said it so smoothly, like, she says it out. But the fool went to go and call the song the name of the song.
Yes, the fools.
So what do you want them to do?
Those Americans are different blacks.
They're different. They are different.
Oh, well, I thought it was a brotherhood with the black community this episode.
Nah, them Americans, when it comes to this, is a different
Merry
situation.
Christmas and all, but relaxing it. Like.
They call their own children the N-word. That's what they call little N-words. That's what they call their own children. They
where your son? That little N-word right there. Yeah,
they think it's an acceptable word. So as far as I'm concerned,
but you know what? Yeah, I feel like it's mad because that's seeped into our culture here. A lot of the rap songs here and stuff. Like I'm listening to certain rappers, hearing the N-word with an English accent just makes me feel uncomfortable. You know what's the worst thing as well?
It makes me cringe.
In like France,
you two need to go out. You need to go out.
Fund us, innit?
Hey,
JJ, how much you got in your wallet?
I'll pay for your day. No problem.
I literally have £5 in my wallet right now.
I'll pay for your day, bro.
I'll give you my Nando's card.
I've got a half chicken on there, bro. Half chicken.
You two people need to stick together.
I've got 4 peppers on there, bro. I got 4 peppers on there.
I'm trying to have a son who goes to the NBA as well. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say. I'm gonna do my dance.
A man with vision, a man with ambition.
Yes, we like it.
We set this one up nicely.
No, but like even in like France, a lot of the francophone rappers are starting to use that.
They are.
So how do they say it in French then?
Man, you know what? Just it's like mine.
Do they actually say it the English
yeah, they
way?
say no, but with a French accent. Yeah.
JJ, do you say the N-word in general day to day?
No, I don't. It just feels uncomfortable. I listen to hip hop, innit? So like I listen to the songs and whatever, but just like
I don't even say it now when I rap.
You know what I mean? Even if I'm rapping along, it just doesn't come out of my mouth.
But that's
like
the thing though with America and American culture. Like I say, America sneezes and we catch the cold. So it's something that just
like that.
transpires.
I like
just
that.
comes
So,
through.
yeah.
But
It's true.
even now, what's annoying me on the timeline is that girls are just calling men
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's like what they refer to as men now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this?
It's
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah.
I was listening to a podcast. Yeah, I'm not going to say which podcast it is. And they were kept on saying N-word, N-word, N-word. Someone in the comments actually said, why do you keep saying that? You guys are not even American, man.
Yeah.
And
There was
pe-
one podcast this week that was saying that quite often
people
as well.
are picking up on these things, and I've picked up on it time ago. I hate it when I actually can't stand it when people with a British accent say the N-word. It just sounds weird.
Yeah.
It sounds really weird. It sounds like you shouldn't be saying it.
It's like, why would you want to pick
It's just-
the worst part of that culture and assimilate it with again?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what I
why
mean?
do you want that?
The thing is, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have used that word, and when I'm angry, like let's say a fuck boy pissed me off.
That's what you call it.
I have used the word in that sense, not to him, but if I'm cussing him against to
Slave
somebody
master.
else. But you'll never ever catch me saying, "Yo, what's going on?" I must be very angry to use that word.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just don't even in anger.
Yeah.
I wouldn't associate that word. It's like they call like the timeline. I'm just seeing. Yeah, this N word did this. This N word did that. My N word is
I
this.
don't like
My N word's do. I'm like, why are you girls keep thinking that that's cool? Like, cause for me, it's like I don't like when men call women bitches. I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's
So-
like a bitch gotta get paid. I don't like stuff like that.
I don't like that. I don't like it when women call themselves
I don't
bitches.
like
It annoys
it,
me as well. Even it annoys me more when women call themselves bitches.
Bitches making moves.
Then when men call women bitches. It annoys me more when women call themselves bitches. But when I see this bitches this and the N word that, I just don't get it.
And you know how a lot of the negativity is kind of something that's been exacerbated in our culture more so than other cultures. Do you know what I mean? Like, so in terms of like using the B word for each other, I don't see that being perpetuated in the same way amongst other cultures
even says the B
as
word.
it is. But as it is,
Why women call themselves bitches?
I would disagree.
And the C word.
I would disagree. I think the B word people do use.
bitches.
Other cultures use.
No,
it.
like, I
but I
think-
think it's more a cultural thing as opposed to a race thing. So if you go to like in a city, that's
in the
whether it's
city where?
like
What do
New
you mean
York, London.
Right.
then-
Okay. Take America at the occasion. Yeah. And when I say America, like obviously you're looking largely at Black America, right?
No,
Why America use that word bitch a lot?
That's what I'm saying.
My
As,
bitch ass.
reclamation?
Yeah, my bitch ass. They'll talk about, hi bitch. Remember, you have to remember as well.
Yeah.
That you have to remember, and I know it's a disgusting thing to say, but it's seen as black culture.
Well, that's the thing.
And
It
and
is.
and even and if you notice, the gay community
Yep.
and the white female community
Right.
like to pretend to use what they think is black women.
Who do they imitate?
They imitate
Right,
black women, so that's
exactly.
what they think is black women's culture.
Exactly.
That they call each other bitches. So you see a lot of gay men calling women bitches as well as themselves or bitch, and you will see them white women calling each other as well as black women bitches.
Yeah,
that's what they do because they think that's what a black woman does, and
Right.
they try to pretend to be black women or ratchet black women, which I don't get either way. But that's what they're trying to pretend to be.
yeah.
So they'll do it.
It's kind of like we have to stereotype ourselves and bring ourselves down to somehow lift ourselves up. If those words are supposed to be empowering words, like why does it have to be negative? Surely, as creative as we are, as how much like we make things pop and stuff, we can't think of new words
Yes.
to talk to each other with.
There's so many different
Like-
But
words.
it'd be so much easier just to call each other kings and queens because that's what we are.
I don't even have all of that rubbish. I would have said
I'm not
man
co-signing
them.
that, man, because there's bare people out there. They ain't kings and they ain't queens, and I ain't lying to you in your face.
Yeah, but you wouldn't call
you ain't
someone
princess.
who isn't a king or queen a king or queen.
Well, that's the point. Then what would you call them? Because we're trying to find a new term to
no, but it doesn't have to be with
Just
everybody.
call them by their
the
name.
same
Bro,
way how you
whether
wouldn't
it be
call
their
the
Christian
N-word.
name.
That's the title of
One
the
at a
book.
time,
Call
one
me
at a
by
time.
my
Yeah,
name.
Yeah, that's the
name.
title of the podcast, man.
What's that?
Call me by my name. If you ain't gonna call me a king or a queen or an N word or a B word,
I'm sure
call
that-
me by my name.
I'm sure that is the title of a book already.
Yeah, I think
whether it's my Catholic name or my Yoruba name or
My
my
Nigerian name.
certificate name or
No doubt, King.
The sidewalk
I like
name.
that though.
Yeah.
Certificate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of
He's a
course.
king, man. You
right.
feel me? Royalty
Okay.
around here.
That's right.
But he's
All
a
right.
bitch.
We got
Yeah, say it that way. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, cunts.
We weren't gonna say that word.
Alright, can that word be
It's not
reclaimed?
banned, you
Can
know.
that
We
better
went-
be reclaimed?
Can it be
I thought you
reclaimed?
guys said. I thought you
Why
guys
not?
voted the word out. What
We
happened?
didn't.
We didn't get around to the vote.
don't know what's wrong with this.
Did you listen to the episode?
He did. That's why he said it.
We didn't vote
Let
it
him
out.
answer for himself. That's why I said it, man. That's why I said it. But no, you know he's gonna lie.
You see, I'll push it back. I'm a professional.
I didn't listen to the
He's
episode.
gonna lie.
Oh, good.
Are you being? Come on, let's be.
No, I didn't listen to the episode.
Okay, so
I gotta look at the WhatsApp group and see if you listen to that episode.
Look in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
What a Merry
I'll be
Christmas.
very quick with it then. Jada, did you hear the episode?
No, I didn't hear that.
All right, okay. So, but you did. All right. So, a listener made comment that that word, it was a woman, that they found it very offensive and it turned them off listening to the podcast because we know Mr. Wolf says it often, right?
Not really.
We had a big discussion about it and then we said that we'd vote about it, but we haven't got around to voting about it yet. So the
No, he's not calling him a bitch.
the thing is, at the time, everybody was on the podcast except you. Simple Simon and Wahala were basically on the camp that they're gonna vote it out. They don't want the word used on the podcast. Put it in with the N word. Mr. Wolf was saying that he's gonna vote it in, and I was waiting basically for you, and me and Mr. Wolf were kind of thinking that let me not put any words in your mouth. On the podcast right here and now, what's your vote?
Whether the word should stay in or out.
Whether we should. The N word is axed from our podcast.
This is breaking news.
Yeah,
out here.
we don't use it. Is the C word being added to that edition?
No, what? Because the listener was upset about it.
Because women in general.
There was a lot of conversation
we
behind it.
put a poll and everything on that.
There was a lot of conversation behind it.
Look, the word's staying in as far as I'm concerned.
So you don't
This
care
is
about
our podcast.
You don't care about women and how they feel about what you say about them.
The B word.
That's fine. You don't care about what women feel.
Don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
Whoa.
You care about black people. You don't care about women.
One at a time. You can ask your diggy question, but let him answer.
Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, okay?
That's what I'm saying.
The word is just the word.
No, it's not for them though. That's the thing.
Okay, and that's fine.
We just had a whole conversation about the N word.
The N word is very different than the C word. Very different.
Depending on how you
The
look at
thing
it.
is, I don't even.
I'm glad you're here, actually. Yeah,
No,
as a woman, you tell us what you're
I don't
thinking.
even
But
know
tell us on the microphone.
I didn't even know what the C word meant until you guys broke it down.
All right.
But from you guys breaking it down, I can understand why people are offended. So with that being said, stay away from that word, innit?
It's a podcast. We're going to say things that offend you, listeners. And that's one of the words that will offend you. There's going to be so many things that you will get offended by.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do in this realm, we're giving you news, we're giving you topics, we're giving you
Talk
discussions.
for yourself, by the way. Don't kick for me.
All right, I'm giving you news, I'm giving you discussions, along with my brothers here. Some may not be of the same ilk, some may be. Take it how you want to take it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to listen if you don't want to listen. You can turn it off. You can fast forward.
This is the man I will tell people to not listen to these things.
No, I'm not telling
That's
you.
why he
not
won't prosper in life.
I'm not telling you not to listen. I say you can listen or you cannot listen. It's entirely up to you. If you're going to be offended, you're going to be offended. There are things that are going to offend people in this world. Don't mean you're going to run into a corner and hide. The world's not going to change just because you're upset about something.
All right.
Okay.
On that
Simple
note,
as that.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I mean,
Merry motherfucking Christmas, bitches.
well, there you go. I mean, one of the things that we made clear is that we don't, or that we have, but I cannot remember it being specified to a certain gender. The way how Thomas Sankara was treated, I see that as cuntish behaviour. You get me? The way how the colonizers are, to me, that is the kind of behaviour that I see it as. So it's not specified and portrayed for and to women.
But that's
That's the same thing about they say about the N word, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
But it's not though. I don't, and I don't know the origins where it was, or if it was specified only to women.
But it's about their private part.
Okay.
So don't call me a dickhead, bruv.
Okay.
Simple things, and I don't ever want to hear that word again.
All right. So we're gonna let our two guests have the final say on the N word and the C word, whichever one they want to choose on, whatever thing. I'll start off. Should I end with the lady? I'll let the ladies go last. JJ, you say what you can join into this conversation and say what your thing or whatever you want to say.
But I think like the N word should be used for historical or education purposes. Personally, I don't see it as slang. I don't see it as colloquialism. I don't even want to hear it in music. Personally, to be honest, but obviously that's where it's at. And I think there's a really good book called the N word and its usage, or the history of the N word. I can't remember the writer, but it just breaks down how that word has been systematically used to oppress us as a people. Now, obviously, we're kind of like used to hearing in the mainstream in the songs or whatever. But when it was, for instance, in America and it was public lynching day, right? They would have areas where they would basically feed black babies to the alligators, right? This is literally history, right? Feed black babies to the alligators. And they would be like, oh, see the little Negroes drown, whatever. Like stuff like that. There's so much of our history that we're disconnected from and we completely desensitized to. So the pain of that word, we no longer feel it. Do you know what I mean? So
and the C word?
And the C word, I don't think that's for me to say, but personally, it just doesn't even sound nice. Like, it doesn't even sound like, it doesn't even,
It's a curse word, isn't it?
But it doesn't even sound nice. I don't know, it just sounds a bit, it just sounds harsh.
Like, sounds harsh, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just sounds very harsh. You know, so I couldn't personally use it.
I wouldn't like to be called
CynTea, you're going to put the mic closer to yourself and you're going to talk us out with your final point.
The N word, like I said before, yeah. When it comes to British people saying it, it does my head in. When it comes to Americans saying it as well, don't like it. But for some reason, when they say it, I'm just like, okay, because it's your culture. You do it all the time. It doesn't make it right, but it's like, I can see why you're saying it. Not that do you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's you guys' slang.
Yeah, we get it.
For me now, I don't use it. I don't want to hear it around me either. I was talking to someone the other day as well, and I said, because I was in a situation where someone said the N-word because I used it around them and they're not black. And it made me feel like I should have never said that word because now I've made them feel comfortable using it. This was like a couple of years ago. So she made reference to, she didn't say the N-word, but she made reference to our culture in a way again. So I'm waiting for her to say it again, so I can tell her to not do it again because I don't want to hear around me. And all the people that are coming to me and asking me stuff like, oh, why can you guys say it and I can't say it? Fuck off. I don't want to hear that again because it's really annoying. Why do you even feel like you want to say it? Why is that even a question? So
yes,
that's all I want to.
And the C word?
I've already said it. I already addressed it earlier on.
Okay.
They found my keys.
This guy was looking for his keys and now they've been found.
All right. So on that poignant note, thank you very much, CynTea. We will do our church notes and our
You don't want to say
goodbyes.
thank you to JJ?
The final note, he said,
Good gosh.
Black Sabbath of the night.
See you next Tuesday. So, Wahala. Wahala, you got your things?
Yeah.
In fact, we have actually released every Tuesday. Isn't it? You can easily just say see you next Tuesday. Because we come out every Tuesday. Christmas Day.
You're really going to see us though, you're going to hear us.
Big Wahala on Insta. Bitch. At Big Wahala on Twitter. Everyone, thank you for, I know we're going to do New Year's one, I'm assuming as well, but just in case anyway, thank you for listening and supporting ESN podcast throughout the year. Thank you for our guests for coming in. For everybody that's coming in next as well, we would love to see you in the next year. We know more guests, more dilemmas, more situations and conversations that we would love to have. You know, have a Merry Christmas, all that celebrate Christmas, and to the ones that don't, it doesn't mean that you can't take time to go and enjoy your family and, you know, enjoy a day out with them. It's a day off for everybody. You know, go and enjoy that day. And the ones that don't have anybody, obviously we know that this time of year is when a lot of people commit suicide or fall into their depression. One thing I would like to say is, you know, to those people, keep your head up. Hopefully you will get through this season and you'll find somebody that you can spend the time with or something that will make you, you know, feel better about your day and your life. And, yeah, just make your way through it, man. It's one of those times.
And remember, love each other.
No.
The actor.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of what we do each week. We do it for you as well as for ourselves. Keep listening, keep telling people about us, and we'll see you after the stuffing has passed through your system.
I thought you were going to say next Tuesday, but it's all good.
You know your socials?
My socials, DATACTOR, Instagram and Twitter.
Mr. Wolf.
AKA Mr. Wolf on Insta, AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. Enjoy the festivities and thank you everybody, and do a little research on Thomas Sankara. You will be inspired. Believe that.
I don't know how to use this phone.
Why do you have
You look like me, bruv.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say.
You have to play something on it.
Yeah, I want to play some. All right. I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. My Stavros Says this week. Stavros Says is the section where I big something up. and this week it is an artist, Lupe Fiasco. Now,
Bad man.
Lupe Fiasco is one of the best lyricists out there. I think he's what I would call a complete rapper, actually. And if he had a different kind of business sense or a different ethos or a different way of going forward, I think he could have been another Jay-Z. I actually think he's that good, or he's that big, that if he wanted to be, he could have been. That's what he could have been.
Well, Jay-Z did co-sign him.
Yeah, he was also co-signed by Jay-Z in the beginning. He was on his own. Yeah, so I think, or in the least, he could be what Kendrick is.
I think he is what Kendrick. I think he's the first Kendrick. To be honest.
but Kendrick is bigger than Lupe ever was.
I think he's the first Kendrick.
That's for me, anyways.
He's actually better than Kendrick, but anyway,
lyrically,
he's better.
Lyrically, yeah, but in terms of he hasn't got an album. He hasn't got albums like Kendrick. No,
the first album is a classic.
His first album is
the
not
second
good.
album is
We've done this.
I think you guys did this before.
I'm not going down this road.
I like that song, Dumb It Down, and what's it called? Kick Push.
What about the Cool? Oh my God. Come on, bro.
I can't remember.
No, don't let me throw my microphone in the air because I'll start throwing things all over the place.
Merry Christmas.
You get me?
I'm just going to play. So, yeah, okay. Let me go and say some of the songs. I was going to pick out 5 songs and play a little bit of one. So, 2 of those songs are what you just said. Kick Push, which I think is one of the
it's
top.
a cold song.
It's one of the top 5 hip hop songs ever, I believe. It's a
push.
Yeah, I think it's a metaphor for actually. Not only is it about skating, I think it's a metaphor for selling drugs. I think so. Go listen to the song. Really deep it.
Imagine top 5.
Yeah, ever.
Bruv.
Failure. So go onto YouTube, find Failure. Dumb It Down. So Failure is like a more peak level of Dumb It Down. It's just peak. Deliver, which is something he released a couple of years ago, which is about how pizza people don't deliver stuff to certain neighborhoods in America now because it's too ghetto. And this one, which I think many people wouldn't have heard, is called Double Burger with Cheese.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
All right. Now I'm gonna play a little bit. Now go find the video on YouTube. It's not an official video, but somebody spent time and effort making this beautiful fan-made video, and it's just wonderful. I want you to hear it because you'll see it when you hear it.
Always tell the masses that it's never gonna stop, cause you never gonna do shit. Magnified gestures over long lost blues riffs. Mop up, sop up the tears for fears with a Q-tip that proceeds to poke out their eyes with a toothpick. Remember when Lorenz taped the tans with the pool stick? A wind came, pistol whip Chauncey and that fool snitch. Sent to take the bill due, would've went to jail if he wouldn't have got killed in that drive-by by the duty kid. Cause he was like, it ain't mine, and she was like, you the only guy that I do it with. Remember when Pac and Q started fighting over Still House? They broke a vase, still scream. Raheem told them to chill out. That Jerry Curl blood that brought Ricky eating chips. The same guy they was looking for when Ice Cube stopped to let Cube out the whip. And when it's sad how Loco had to have...
Okay. Did any of you...
Yes!
So while you keep quiet. Has anybody never heard that song before?
I've not heard it before.
I've never
actually.
heard it before.
Did you catch any of the lyrics that you were saying?
A few.
All right.
My friend, they weren't listening.
He's gone. Yeah, you both on your phone. He's gone through a bunch of old school gangster black films, and he's just vocalizing it, like just spitting out different scenes. It's wonderful, and for people like us,
Can we name all the films?
Name them, bruv.
Can you name all the films?
I can't name all of
We're
them.
talking about Boys in the Hood,
Boys,
Menace
Menace.
Society,
Jason's lyrics.
yeah. I can't remember. I wasn't listening to all of them, but let me give you.
Double burger with cheese.
You know what's ironic?
Burger with cheese.
You know what's ironic? You know they was talking about Fresh last week.
Yeah, he doesn't include Fresh in this.
Yeah, but Mr. Van's message master said, Fresh is a...
Yeah.
He's like, Fresh is a wicked film, blah, blah, blah. I forgot about it. Then he goes, do you remember... He inspired one of the songs. And then you remember that Jules Santana made that song, Little Boy Fresh?
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same thing with that. Well, basically, he just rapped the lyrics of Fresh and put it in a song. This is almost exactly the same thing, but he's taking different bits and different pieces of it.
Anyway, it's just a beautiful...
Is that you, bruv? Fucking hell.
I'm assuming somebody's broken windows.
Can we just carry on?
it's like,
If someone break wind, I can't talk about it.
no, just let me do the podcast, bro. Okay. Anyway, that is my Stavros says. I'll post them all up on the information. I'll put the links to the videos. Watch them. listen to them. Lupe is one of the best rappers of all time. I just think he's just overlooked, and I think people should. I'm just giving him a shout. That's his Christmas present. Me shouting him out. All right. So JJ Bola.
Yes.
Church notes, social medias, anything you want to promote?
Yeah. Boy, it's been fun. It's been fun. Thank you guys for having me. What am I supposed to say? Social media.
Yeah, your social media. Your books.
Bola.
Where can we get your book?
Our books are available at all good bookstores, online, Waterstones, Amazon, Foils, etc., etc. JJ Bola on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. JJBola.com. Yoruba name is Bola. A lot of people think I'm Nigerian, but I'm actually Congolese. And yeah, I've got a lot of work like coming out next year, so
what about your
feel free
poetry
to
book?
support. Poetry book, same as well. Yeah, so yeah, man.
I actually did. I think in the past we did. I'd talked about your book on the podcast.
Yeah,
Actually.
we have.
Oh, you didn't let me know,
brother.
But you should be
listening.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I listen, but it's hard to listen week in, week out.
I support your
It's
book,
not-
I support my podcast. It's
Black
right,
people.
bro.
Black
It's alright, but yeah, but I did talk about the book, and
I'm a writer. I'm isolated.
And
Do you
the
have a book with you? You have a copy with you?
This is what I should have bought.
You should always
Yeah,
bring
I
a copy
should,
with you,
innit?
man. Because I would have bought one off you right now.
And the book is really, really good. It's not like one of those things because I know him. I'm saying the book is good. I really thoroughly enjoyed that book.
I'm happy to hear
I
that,
read
man.
it quick. Like I read it properly on the train. When I got home, I was still reading it. That was something because you know those books you read on the train because you don't want to do something. When I got home, I was still reading the book. You know, in time when stuff like I really, really enjoyed that book. And as much as I'm not necessarily the character in the book. A lot of the things that you said about that character in the book related to me, especially as I said, the African in London. So I really enjoyed it.
And he's not understand that because at the time you did pick up the book.
But I remember you tweeting me and we was messaging and it was like, so, and you said that before you wanted to be.
I wanted to be the preacher.
Okay.
It's dirty, but
you do have a Congolese look about you as well.
Yeah, you see, I just need the shoes, bro, and the tight trousers. That's all I need.
And he fits the stereotype today as well.
The shoes are not as pointy they should be. They should be able to slice your leg off.
He's in London at the moment, isn't it? Sin.
You can find me on all social media platforms at A Cup of CynTea, but
How do you spell sin, by the way? Because some
Sin.
people might be spelling it S-I-N.
So it's A cup CUP of OF.
It's the sin bit that
Sin CYNTEA. So tea as in cup of sin tea.
Where did that name come from, anyways?
Do you like tea?
Pardon?
Do you like tea?
Yes, I drink tea. I drink like a pint of green tea every day.
Oh,
but
wow.
it's not because of that though. It's just that I wanted to have like, what's it called? A stage name or whatever you want to call it that goes with my name. Because my mom actually calls me CynTea, but she spells it different.
Okay.
And as well as that, I see it as, let me be your cup of tea, so a cup of CynTea kind of thing.
God damn. I'm married.
Not like that, but in terms of in terms of the content I create. But I wanted to plug out some stuff that I'm involved with.
Go for it, please.
So I'm part of Barber Banter. So I'm a YouTube personality on there. So just check it out. It's called Barber Banter on YouTube.
Okay.
It's like we just debate about stuff in the barbershop.
All right.
And then also, I have a thing that I'm doing every Wednesday to Friday. It's called Trash TV Thursdays with CynTea on my Instagram story. A lot of people are engaging with it, so feel free to engage with it.
Hold on. What shows you watching?
Trash TV.
Don't worry about it. Tune in. I said Trash TV, didn't I?
Yeah, but I need to know what shows I'm tuning in for. Are we talking about Love and Hip Hop?
That's one of them.
Are we talking about
It's not. So basically,
Nine Mag and them land?
yeah.
I'm on Nine Mag, Anyway,
They're coming back on the 1st of January this season.
Yes, all right, I'll be there.
We're talking about Black Ink Crew, Chicago, by the way.
I'll be there.
But what I'm trying to say is I do a thing called Trash TV Thursdays with CynTea. From Wednesday to Friday, we talk about different topics and mainly relationships, and ask you guys a question and get you guys involved and get you to, let me know how you feel about it. But it seemed people are actually liking it. So yeah, tune in.
Bless up. Best of luck with that. Everything else?
I'm going to follow you on that.
I think that's it for me. I've got a blog, acupofcyntea.com. So yeah. Sorry, come. Sorry, my accent always gets in the way. But you guys understood what I was trying to say.
All right, you will send me the links to all of those things, both of you. They will be in the show notes. So just find CynTea and JJ Bola. Everything that they promoted will be there. You can just click through, and including.
I've got one more thing. I got the PIMQ project. Stands for Perfectly Imperfect Melanin Queen. So if you look for that hashtag on Twitter and on Instagram, you'll find all the pictures and read the caption that goes with the pictures.
Again, I'm married. I can't look at those videos.
So it's PIMQ Project.
PIMQ Project.
The PIMQ Project.
And do you want to flesh out what that is very quickly?
Oh, I just explained. Oh, okay. So
No,
actually, I didn't explain it. It's just basically embracing Black beauty.
Yeah.
And it's about self-love and loving yourself for how you look, whether you're, tall, fat, skinny, whatever you want to call it in it.
Yeah.
Embrace yourself.
Yeah, embrace yourself.
Short.
And your hair as well. You should embrace
I don't even
hair.
like using the word fat, but...
He's fat. What is the problem?
Larger.
Larger. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we done?
That's it.
What about short people?
I said it's for everybody.
It's for everyone.
But basically, I'm
every black.
the center of the project, so it's about my insecurities. So I literally show you guys my insecurities that I was dealing with all my life, but I'm starting to embrace and that I love now.
Quick question then: would you date a short person?
That's it. Merry Christmas, everybody.
The way she looked. I wish I was recording that.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right, so on behalf of all the guys at ESN Podcast, including Simple Simon, wherever he is.
In the village.
Yeah, we'd like to...
Simple Simon FB.
Yeah, at Simple Simon FB on
Shout out
Twitter.
Simple Simon, because I thought he was going to be
I
here.
miss him.
Both our guests wanted Simple Simon here.
I miss him. One of some Caribbean flavor.
He's in the village, doing village things.
One of some jerk rice.
Well,
Bedrin.
Unfortunately, he's not. He should be hopefully here next week. We'll see.
No, I think he's staying there. Like I don't know if he's coming back.
Okay, we'll see.
He's coming back, but
all right, okay,
he's there for a while.
But on behalf of all of us, we'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas. We hope it goes well. Like Wahala said, hopefully it's not that time of year where it brings out the worst. But if it does, we are here. You can email us at esn.podcast@gmail.com and holler at us. We can talk to you. I'm going to send these two on a day right now. Maybe I can sort something out for you too. All right. Thank you very much. Our next episode will be New Year's Day, so hopefully you can listen to that too if you're not listening to all of this in the New Year's anyways, because I know that's probably what a lot of you is going to be doing, listening to this well into the New Year. But thank you very much. And
it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you, guys. It was. I think you ended up the year really nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, very good. Apart from not talking in the wax, you did a good job. All right, thank you very much.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slack for life.
Damn it.
Slack for life. Merry Christmas.
Yo.
People might be offended by the word slack.
I don't care. I really don't care.
There you go.
I would care.
But I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there thinking about this. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Because I've got the deciding vote now. And
We'll decide then.
I have to think about it because if I'm really, really, really honest, I'm with you guys. That's where my heart is. My heart is.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Another episode, you mean?
Sorry?
Do you want to record another episode for next week?
No, we recorded another episode.
No, he's talking about using the C word.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, two and two. I'm the deciding vote whether we use that C word.
How do you really feel about it?
You
don't really care too tough?
No, I disagree with what the person said.